Welcome, 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 friends. I am OG Murphy, your dungeon master for the evening. We are going to be playing some D&D Pathfinder Homebrew, 5e D&D and 1e Pathfinder. I'm not attached to either system, but together they make a pretty nice system that I really enjoy. And I'm the dungeon master, so I get to play whatever game I want. We're going to get right to our game. We've got three players with us tonight. One of them is not feeling super well, Titus, so if his performance is a little flat, that is because he is not feeling particularly well. So, without further ado, let's get back to it. Let's let the players tell us what happened last time. All right, guys, I'm back. I'm live. Let's hear that recap.
All right, so let's see. From what I remember, Tim and Titus basically, Mary had went on her way to go and try to find, Whack with the horse situation with Jox, and then Tim and Titus went down to Woodhares. Tim because he needed to send messages out back to Port Saucus in order to get someone to come down and basically take over for him because he was planning on leaving, and Titus was going down there, I believe, just to largely shop, correct? Basically, a way to spend his spoils. That's horse. Okay.
Shit, what did I name him?
You named him like a super traditional horse name.
Hidalgo.
Hidalgo, that's the guy.
And yeah, he got Hidalgo, and there was a shopping spree of him trying to try to con a thing of selling an axe for more than it was worth. But before we ended up getting down there to Woodhares, we encountered
That was last session. Jesus, that seems so long ago for some reason.
It was only 2 weeks ago.
I think it was, yeah.
We took a week off last week, but yeah.
But encountered an overturned cart, and out of the cart, we see a shot, some sort of merchant running away, and then this a crackhead halfling basically ran out of the cart at us, and Titus just kind of instantly lobs its legs off to keep it from attacking us, and it bleeds out. But Tim, he thinks he can try and cure it, and he puts the legs back together and heals them, only for that thing to bite his face and infect him with whatever is happening. Tim freaks out and blows up a bomb in his face to cauterize that, and he's no hair.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was cool, but it is going to affect the way people are looking at you, and I forgot about that. Well, I guess you're not Tim anymore, but anyway,
yeah. He's so close to going back home after these harrowing few weeks. He was gonna do it. He was gonna. So what if his face gets messed up a little bit? But interrogate the merchant dude to figure out what the hell is happening. And he seems a bit shifty. I think Titus.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Titus searches through the cart while Tim's talking to him, and he finds this mysterious pattern in these fake corn husks, and Tim basically gets out of him. I think that this is some sort of drug, and that's what caused that crackhead to go wild. At which point, Tim's just telling Titus hey, get rid of those. And he accidentally opens one, the stuff goes in the air, and it gets to the shopkeep or the merchant, and he starts going wild. But Tim just throws bombs at him, burns the cart and the stuff.
Yep.
And they basically end up making their way to Woodhares relatively unscathed. Tim sends his messages, and he's just out and about. And then it's Titus doing a shopping spree up until Maxwell comes in. In which case, he happens to run into Titus because Tim had told him to look for him. And they basically start talking a little bit, and they end up going to the guild to a guild hall to see if they can make a bit of money. A lot of paperwork later, anagram of a name messed up and stuff. They get told that within a few days, a guild representative is going to talk to them.
Yeah, just gloss over the fucked up name. Thanks.
Oh yeah, Titus can't read.
There's all kinds of YouTube clips about it now. I just clipped that whole series. That was so
I know I
rich,
saw.
such a rich moment.
Yeah, I watched them. They were funny. But they spend a few days around camp. The guild representative comes. Maxwell just kind of tells him stuff that everyone else kind of already knows to avoid any suspicion on him. And then I think this is where we start as like getting ready to leave out of town.
Yeah, you guys are heading back towards Runeswick. For whatever reasons you want, my understanding was because in the handoff between Tim and Max, he was like, here's some work for you to get you started, and one of those is out of Runeswick, is my understanding.
Yeah.
Super sweet. Anything anybody wants to add to that?
I think part of the reason we were heading to Runeswick as well was during that handoff, because Titus is sort of the connective tissue there. They were looking for more info on the wizard, and they needed a bigger town to either try to recruit more help or gain more intel to some degree.
Yeah.
They're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
No, not yet.
The wonderful wizard.
Not yet.
Of death and zombies.
We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of God.
Super great. I love it. Then, without further ado, let's do some character introductions in reverse Discord order. So, Andreas, you're up first.
All right. So I'm now playing Maxwell Briggs, swapped out from Tim. He is from the same city, and he was a student at the College of Prasakis, Free People's College, correct?
Yes. Free People's Academy.
Free People's Academy. He is the son of a bit of a wealthy judge, and he's kind of coasted on the family name for a bit. He has talents, but he doesn't really put them to use. Up until now, he got those letters. He caught wind of those letters around the college of Tim, and he knew of him. So he decided to come down and see what's up. He's a bit snobbish. Yeah, the idea is that he's like the other side of the coin for Tim is like he takes full advantage of his privilege, and he will not acknowledge that he's a privileged person.
Rich
But,
boy.
I earned my birthright.
Yeah, it's like I earned this name.
I was the fastest swimmer. I earned this.
But basically, that's him. He's kind of snobbish, but he'll take care of his own.
God may have put me in the right testicle, but I earned my right. I was the fastest one.
We haven't gotten to your character yet, Jennifer, so I'll let you decide if you want to introduce yourself now or wait until that happens.
I'll just do like a brief thing, like a Fayish style tiefling, female, early 20s, and then I think the class was like Hunter, so it's basically the Pathfinder equivalent of they snatched together a rogue and a ranger and we're like, here you go. Oh, and then she has a giant mantis named Peppa.
Oh,
named Peppa?
Yeah.
Named Peppa? No, not Peppa, like the pig, like pepper, like salt and peppatia. God
damn it, you're so white.
I know.
Okay, and up to the top, Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Titus. Still, I'm a half-orc mercenary. Initially, just looking for some sweet loot, and somehow got tangled up in all this bullshit. But this bullshit happens to align with potentially sweeter loot, so I'm here for it.
Classic motivations. And are you an orc or a half-orc?
Half-orc.
Half-orc. Great. Love it.
7-foot half-orc with an undercut mohawk, nice and orc green and all that shit.
Oh, I have a character question. Does Titus have like the full-blown tusks like an orc, or are they a bit smaller because he's a half-orc?
I mean, as far as D&D Beyond is concerned, they are the same level of orc tusk, but for like design purposes, probably a little bit smaller.
Okay.
right.
He's not full on like reverse saber-toothed tiger or anything, but he's definitely got a big ass jaw, a little bit of an underbite.
Kind of like a
Some-
bulldog.
Yeah, kind of. Ooh, the bulldog of Brunswick. I like that.
Oh, there you go.
That's a great nickname. That's a great.
Oh my
like
god,
Write
we're
that
gonna
down.
have to start.
Write
We're
that
gonna
down.
have
I
to
might
start
make a
making
bulldog of
T-shirts.
Brunswick. I might just take that title and create a different alter ego for him and a different character. I'm gonna write
Fuck you, man. That's all me,
I'm
dog.
gonna write that down. Hey man, this is all you playing my game. Anything, it's all fair game.
It's like
We're gonna have to
Okay,
make
Wizards of the
T-shirts.
Coast, just take my ideas. Why not?
it's just like Metal Gear Solid. You have to earn the title of the Bulldog of Brunswick. You got to take it from someone else.
No, it's okay. It's okay because mine's
I will
mine's the
absolutely
bastard of
kill
Brunswick, so that's I'm all right
Bastard
there.
Brunswick. That's good too.
I love
Once
that
again,
alliteration.
we
I
gotta
love that
make the
alliteration.
T-shirts.
Okay. Thank you for the inspiration, friends. We will always stop the game mid-game for good ideas for inspiration.
As shown by our
See the
Powerpuff Girl
Powerpuff
one
Girls
shot.
I know.
Oh, there
we
we go.
literally have a whole stream. I know. If I knew the YouTube thing, I'd put like a link to it up somewhere about the stream that we just completely about an hour in we just stopped playing D&D and started planning a Powerpuff,
Powerpuff Girls.
Girls.
And
So
not
good.
just a Powerpuff Girls, a cracked out heroine-esque Powerpuff Girl.
Yeah, like a
So
Lovecraftian, like
So
a
good.
dark. Yeah, it was anyway.
Hair shark
we can't get
strippers.
into that again. We can't do it. So we are setting the scene here. It is early in the morning, 10 days after the last time we all started playing a game session together. So that would be the completion of the blood contract. So a little over a week after that point, giving Max enough time to come and go, word to come and go from the college from Tim, for your interactions to happen, for you guys to wait for this guild representative. You are now ready to head out at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and it is the first few days of winter. So here on the coast, it will never be too bad, but there is a definite chill in the morning air as you guys awake and get yourself ready for your journey. You stand outside the gates of Woodhurst. Your friend Titus is now off his shift, and the morning guard is there. You guys have both eaten breakfast and are ready to depart. What would you guys like to do?
I think I'm forgetting his name already. I was about to say Tim. Max. He just kind of walks up up to Titus, and he's just kind of doing the cold shoulder, not the cold shoulder thing, but the trying to warm himself up, rubbing his shoulders.
Oh, real quick, did we ever get paid from that information, or was he just like, "Oh, if that comes to light, we'll send you payment"?
Yeah, that was the one.
Okay, fucking shithead.
Bureaucracy.
But he just rubbing his elbows.
We're watching too much Futurama,
chilly this
Dave.
morning.
Repeat that, Andreas.
He just rubbing his elbows, just kind of like it's a bit chilly this morning.
Chilly with lack of coin. I'll make him pay later. But for now, we need to head out.
Yes, we do. This will be the time that I will attempt to do a voice, but I will stop if it's really bad.
Don't. I want to lay the foundation to say that anyone who attempts a voice should be commended for their effort. I'm not above a little razzing here and there, but the voice thing is, it's like that's one to be commended. So, because I chew you all out for giving me shit for my voices, so don't give each other shit for voices.
I'll try to come up with a voice for Titus. I mean, an orc is just
it's no pressure.
In
It's not necessary. But if you think it's fun to try a voice, that should not be made unfun by your fellow players.
Oh, no.
That's the point I'm getting at.
I would. I'm super down for voices. The problem is I just don't want to bother the roommate.
This is this is also for the people at home, and all the people watching the
Yeah.
video and stuff. You know, people who
Yeah,
need to know about D&D and
Also, on
how it goes.
yeah, and also Andreas, it's your first voice. We are not expecting perfectionism.
You
No,
better
it's,
be Troy Baker, motherfucker. Troy Baker.
no. It's gonna be a vague British accent.
Vaguely British. I like that.
I expect you to tell me the region of England you are trying to imitate.
Is it
Um,
fancy
a
British or
nomad,
is it?
somebody who traveled throughout for his life, through his young life. So he picked up different accents in different times. So if it feels
what a
like it's
cop-out.
fluctuating, then that's why.
Yeah.
That's a
Is
good
this
cop-out.
fancy British or is this oi governor British?
I wish
Boy,
I could do
that-
the. I so wish I could
Old
do that
school
accent. I
Cockney?
love it so much. I love
It's
the Cockney
definitely
accent
oi
so
governor.
much.
Oh my gosh, Titus should do oi governor voice
Absolutely.
because of the
not.
bulldog. Oh,
Oh, god damn you. That's actually a decent idea.
If you ever
honestly,
create another,
I would not be able to hold even a shitty British accent for an extended period of time.
if you ever create another like bulldog character, you should have. I'm just gonna imagine it. It has that
I
kind of
will
an accent
absolutely think about it.
because that's funny.
You have
And
an
he has to
accent
have a
that
cigar out of his mouth.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Okay.
Max, you were referring to the weather as being cold, and Titus has just responded with, "I cold with lack of coin."
The worst kind of cold.
The worst kind.
The poor kind.
Honestly, yeah. He's gonna say like, yeah, the poor kind is like, and he looks over 50 yards away at like someone like tending to their yard.
Oh damn. He's a cunt.
Can I can we see what they might be gardening?
Let me see here.
Here's just someone doing yard work. Don't want to put Dave on the spot.
No,
Oh,
yeah,
I
it's,
thought you-
they're not doing
thought
yard
you
work.
said
They've got a chicken coop that they're like collecting the eggs from. They're like hunched over.
Okay,
There's
I thought you
chickens
said
fucking
a
around
garden.
them.
But shall we get going then?
Let's go. Load up in the back, and we'll head out. And I'll hop on top of Hidalgo.
Oh yeah, where's
Oh,
the
you-
horse?
You think I'm going to ride in your chariot? I'm just gonna. I'll ride. I have my own horse. Thank you. As like looks over to his horse just a little bit away.
Oh, I actually completely forgot that you got a horse as well.
Yeah, you're fine. I
Where are
almost
the
forgot to.
ponies?
But that's how you guys know you're moving on up in the world. Is you're not hoofing it. You're not taking the Shoelace Express anymore. Now you're hoofing it. So.
The Shoelace Express.
Yeah. You like that one? That's the other
Pretty good.
favorite because we have a lot of Subaru drivers, so they're the Subarus. That's that
Oh
comes
my
up a lot as
yeah.
well.
God, get the
Uh,
fuck out of here.
Yeah. So
Where are the horsies?
I don't have models for the horses.
Oh,
Theater
okay.
of the mind. Fucking chill.
Horsies. Oh, in Heroes Forge, you can create a horse miniature now
Yeah, I saw that update.
and a frog.
Okay, so you guys load up your horses, and I believe Hidalgo is like armored down pretty significantly. Remind me what color horse Hidalgo is?
I mean, we'll go. I never actually specified. We'll just go movie accurate, and he's like a brown Arabian or whatever the fuck Hidalgo was.
Sick.
But it's hard to tell because he's covered in what looks like Hell Knight armor.
Yeah. Like a
Mechanically,
dark, thick-
it's not, but it looks neat and pointy and intimidating and scary and whatever.
Wait, quick question. Is the carriage that the horse has the original one you guys had, or did y'all upgrade?
It's not a carriage. It's just the cart that we found on the side of
Yeah,
the road.
okay. That's what I wanted to check. If it's just that cart, or if we
Yeah,
did
no, it's
upgrade to a
just the cart.
carriage.
It's just the cart. Which is nearly, if not completely empty at this point, but it's good to have a cart.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm the the three of us make quite the motley crew. My like hellspawn looking ass horse with this 7-foot orc on the back with a giant axe, and the human on his regular horse hauling a cart that is almost, if not completely, empty.
Love it. With a makeshift ramshackle top.
Oh yeah, yeah, with a canopy. That's right.
The canopy. Mm-hmm. Cool. Absolutely love it. So you guys are traveling, and this is normally a 3-day journey on foot. But because you guys are both on horseback, this could be significantly shorter. There are 3 major camping points between here and there. Anywhere in particular you guys would like to stop? Are you pushing? Are you going at any particular pace? What is your travel strategy? And simultaneously, what are you guys talking about while you're traveling for this day?
Before that, you said it's a 3-day journey by foot, correct?
Right, correct.
Roughly when did we leave? Or are we thinking like dawn-ish?
Yeah, dawn-ish.
Okay. So then that halves it to, you said day and a half with horse?
With horse. Mm-hmm.
Um,
and a day is,
I mean,
an 8-hour travel day. 8 to 10 hour
right.
travel day.
So I'm thinking Titus would probably be willing, if not insistent, to just keep pushing because he understands how dangerous the wastes can be. It would make more sense to just try to get to our destination as soon as possible, especially it being as close as it is, rather than risk other marauders or mercenaries coming along our way.
So I don't think you guys are in the waste. You guys are down in Woodhurst, which is at the tip of that peninsula. And
well, no, but we're going through like forests and like grassland.
Yeah, exactly. You are going through. There's a road, but it's it's only to Ruinswick. It's not that well maintained.
He's being a little extra. Max is like, dude,
all right.
Max is just like, dude, it's a field. It's like, no. These are the wastes. I know these wastes.
Yeah, Max is just like, these roads look well traveled. I don't understand the hurry.
No. These are
and worst case scenario, something pops up on us. I'm sure you can handle it.
You're right about that, but I'd rather not put the horses at risk. Yes, the horses.
Please say
yes,
was
the horses.
Please say the were added.
No, the us were 100% in character.
Oh, yes.
He's trying to be cooler than he really is.
I love it.
Max is just like, yeah, for the horses, but like in the sense of like, he's trying to pretend to be nice, like, yes, one must care for horses.
I'm glad you see my reason. So shall we continue on?
Yes, let's continue.
Okay, we're gonna push it then.
Holy shit! Did y'all fuck up an orc over here?
No, it's just that was temporarily Titus until Titus.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
I think he's even called Titus. Great. So you guys do need to stop for at least 20 minutes for a quick lunch type situation.
I mean, like we'll find like a ravine or something. Let the horses
get some lunch and a piss, and let the horses get a quick rest. But they're brand new, fresh horses, and you're riding them hard, but you're not riding them that hard,
baby.
What's that?
They're trying to run, baby.
Ooh, my stream quality just dropped significantly. I don't know. Oh, let's bounce back. Great. So then you guys get to a point to where you're well past the halfway point, the lighthouse, which is traditionally referred to as the halfway point of the journey, and there isn't anything of note going on there. Actually, you know what? Tell you what. Roll me a perception check, each of you, while you are on this road here, traveling on your day.
I would love to. +2. Okay. Oh god, no. Please no. Sorry, I have to remember how to PC Gen.
That's fine.
Where is my... I think I'm over here.
Oh, Andreas.
Be wherever you want.
See that's not the that's the physics failing me, not the algorithm.
Oh,
Oof,
no.
he doesn't even have as high as what percentage Tim did.
Yeah, there you
There you
Total of
go.
6.
Drop it like it's hot.
Drop it like it's hot. Not great.
Ooh, that's a 9.
Ooh, that's a big 9.
That's a big
You
9.
got better than I did.
Nine's a magic number. That's all I'm saying.
Andreas, what's your final add at? What you end up with?
I total of 6, rolled a nat 1.
Total of 6. Great. So with your 6 and your 9, you guys hear the sounds of the waves crashing on the remains of the shipwreck under the cliffs down below the road, where it draws near to the edge of the sea, and the road snakes back inland again and gets more wooded, and the sound dulls down as the trees, start popping up on either side, and blocking the sound of the waves crashing, and you are left in the wooded silence with nothing but the crunch of the trotting of your horse's hooves underfoot. And then you guys hear an individual crying out for help. And with that, I am going to pause your guys' play, and I'm going to switch over to Jennifer. Are you here?
Yeah.
Okay. They at this point they've passed their lunchtime. They've gone most of the way. They are outside of Ruinswick, where the wooded area draws near to the road, and in that space is the space that Echo calls home, and that is effectively her backyard, and especially in those extended parts of what she's familiar with because of the nature of her most recent issue, and the fact that she is seeking someone. So she's prowling with her companion Pepper through these wooded areas, and she too hears yelling, but the yelling to her is familiar, and she is. It reminds her very much of the person she's seeking. What do you do?
Hmm. Is going to do. Hold on, let me see if I have this.
I believe in you.
Can Echo make a spellcraft check to make sure that this isn't a mimic of some sort?
Spellcraft is
Okay.
to like build your own, or is to like enchant your own stuff. Isn't
I
it?
believe.
Probably
Hold on, let me
be
check.
in our
Because I want to say it says for skill, it can be used to identify spells,
Right,
but
but
I
you
don't know if
probably
that
still
counts
have
or
to.
only
You
if
probably have to
casting.
see it or something. You are skilled in the art of casting spells, identifying magic items, crafting magic items, and identifying spells as they are being cast. So I'm going to argue in this scenario, because it's just something that she hears, it's not applicable. But
Oh, wait, hold on. I have a Hold on, let me see if I have it.
yeah, because
I
that
have
stuff's for
detect
like decipher,
magic.
scroll, detect. That's a cone. You want to shoot that off in the direction you hear the sound from?
Yeah. Is it within 60 feet of me? The sound.
The sound sounds like it's farther than that away, and you fire off
Okay.
your cone, and it comes back, empty, nothing, no magic.
Okay, so she's gonna like kind of get as close as she can within like the 60-foot range, like would be her rough estimate, and then do the detect magic.
Okay, yeah, she can't see the source, so you're gonna move towards the source of the sound, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Okay, great. As you move closer to the source of the sound, you do hear an additional sound of because you know this area, and you know that the road is like right here. You know that you're about to pop out and be on the road at any moment now. And as you approach and you listen for the sound of travelers, you do in fact hear the distant sound of travelers coming up the road.
No.
But you also hear this yelling growing louder as you move closer to the source. It's obvious it's coming from the other side of the road somewhere.
Okay. If we're within 60 feet, then she's gonna do detect magic to see if it's like actually him or not.
So she, she's still in the wooded area, Are you going to get to the point to where you can see the road?
Probably, but she'll probably go into sneak to hide. Let me
Perfect.
do
Roll me a
that.
stealth roll, please.
Da-na-na-na-na-na. Da. Gotta find my tower. Whee! Whee! 9 plus 16 plus 9, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
25.
25.
Cool. Got it. You're now moving at half speed, and as you creep to the edge of the tree line and peek out from the road, you hear the sound of the travelers coming up the road. But what catches your eye is a wagon with no horse, which is obviously broken on the side of the road, and an orcish figure, obviously wounded, crying out in pain, with a large, uh, like, uh, like horned beast, like a ram, like charging and dancing, and like stomping in front of him. And you squint and look, and it is your father.
Your father?
Did the detect magic come back with anything?
You are not quite yet within 60 feet. You can see this with your eyeballs, but it's not 60 feet from you.
She's pretty suspicious right now because, like, she knows her father better than, to get his ass beat by a ram. So she's gonna try to sneak her way closer. Like, we're talking, like, the 60 feet line to get as close as possible and then cast.
Okay, sounds great. My two gentlemen coming up the road hear the cries of someone obviously in need, and as you get closer, you're able to see the same sight: an orcish individual, obviously wounded, laying down in front of a broken wagon, with this large, man-eating ram, charging him, basically. And roll me perception
Does this
checks as
really
well, please,
seem like
guys.
one of. What was that?
Roll me perception checks as well.
Perception.
This is a better one. Nope. 10.
10.
Yeah.
All right, Jeremy. Looks like you might have got it.
Ooh. 17.
17. And you guys look and can see that there is blood on this individual's like torso, and you can see that there's also blood on the horns of the crazed goat-looking thing. And actually, let me. I have a map for this. Let me load that up.
This is a writing. It's just like nasty bit of work. Do what duty calls.
Ooh. Look at all this sand.
I was about to say, are you guys also seeing a sandbox?
We're on a beach, dog. Come on. This is the beach episode.
We're in the Arizona desert.
No, the Arizona desert does not look this lush.
I know. I wish it did. Ta-da!
Okay. Echo. Well, you guys don't have your characters saved objects. Echo is back here. And Mantis. And then Titus is coming up the road with Max.
Oh, wow. Look at me. I'm all tiny.
Ah! Lock.
There we go.
There you guys go. Now you're proper size.
Hey,
So,
look at us.
so you guys will have to excuse me because, like I said, I was actually doing all my prep in Owlbear, and then I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
Man,
We're not.
I gotta say though, I'm definitely taller than Max.
You can make yourself.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I don't know how to, and I don't care that much, but I just want it known I'm definitely taller than Max.
How tall is Max?
Average adult height.
Average.
So-
Actually, no.
What, like 5'9.5"?
Actually, no. He's 5'6".
He's 5'6". He's short.
Yeah, he's short.
That's definitely short. I'm a 7-foot monster.
This warg is gonna be. Oh no, this warg is gonna be the crazy goat thing because that's what I have.
This warg is gonna be dead, is what it's gonna be.
And do I have a wagon? I feel like a wagon's a super basic thing that I should just like have ready to go. Maybe I can find a wagon real quick, just super quick.
If you give me permission to have one saved, I saved it from the previous map while everything was going on.
Ah, nice. Okay, you are promoted, good sir.
So let's see I forget how to add.
You hit the dots and you search the map or whatever it is, or you unless you saved it to your objects and you go objects, saved objects, and you find it there.
There we go. That's it.
If you
Save
give me
object.
permissions, I've got a thing. Oh, sick. How do I do it?
There you go.
Hey, that's a wagon. Look at that shit. All right,
That's a wagon as fuck, son.
That's a super wagon right there.
Yo, we need some. Hey, did Max ever name his horse?
I'm assuming at some point Titus would have asked, and he's like, "Oh fuck yeah," and he's gonna be like, "I'll call him Stu."
Stu?
Way if he gets eaten, it doesn't matter.
Did I unintentionally name your horse?
He's that's the name that's the first name that came to his mind is Stu.
It was fucking Stu.
And then he's just like, it works well because
Oh,
your name's Stool, so don't have to mix names there.
you son of a bitch! No, it's not.
I'm going to. Oh no, I have to change your color. I'm going to demote you.
Ugh.
Just so you don't accidentally move stuff around. Okay. So you guys see this crazy ram thing. Here's your guys' map for perspective. Echo has creeped within exactly 60 feet to run detect magic and does get a distinct magic vibe off of all three of these things: the wagon, the ram thing, and your dad. So there's for you guys. Titus and Max are approaching.
So I got a 17 on that perception. Does that mean that? Would that mean that I noticed them before they noticed us?
That's a great question. That depends on what these guys roll on their perception checks. Interesting. Okay. It does mean that you noticed them first, but only moments before.
So I want to, as soon as I notice them, I want to pull Tim into, like, is this brush
Max,
right here?
He's Max now.
I want to try to Max. Sorry, I want to try to pull Max into this brush, assuming this is actually brush and I'm not just misunderstanding the layout.
It is actually brush, and as you go to pull him, the orc who did see you cries out for help and says, "You two, please, up the road! This thing's gonna kill me!"
I'll look over to Max. What do you want to do?
And Max is just like pulling out his crossbow. I was like, well,
As soon as I see that, I don't even wait for a response. I bolt. How far can I get before we have to roll initiative?
You got to roll initiative right away.
I feel like Titus came out running from the womb, just ready to fight.
So Echo can go ahead and roll stealth as well.
100%.
Roll stealth or initiative?
Or sorry, initiative. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was looking at your stealth roll, making an initiative column when I was anyway.
Max is not having good rolls. He's gonna be the new Tim.
What'd you get, Max?
3.
Oh, wow.
Dirty 20.
High rolling. Titus?
Still attempting to roll. Oh, there we go. Plus 5 is 16.
16. Great. I wrote your names down in the right order. Love it when that happens. Doesn't always. Okay.
Echo got a dirty 20.
Well, aren't you?
I got you,
special?
Echo. So,
Mhm.
you guys are having this opportunity to react. Echo does not have a visual on these people. The trees and the shrubs and the forest and all this stuff is still like blocking her view, but she can see, you know, the scene in front of her, and she has now gotten within 60 feet. And I counted it out. You're pretty dang close. And you start us off on initiative order. So you hear these guys talking, you know, back and forth. You hear their conversation, at least the murmured tones of a conversation, and then the obvious sounds of, you know, one of them charging forward. What are you doing here?
Echo is going to look at Pepper and kind of like give the stop sign, you know, since she's known this bug for a while, to like stay put.
I forgot about your weird ass bug.
Yeah. And she's gonna go because half speed because sneak, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so 5, 10. She's gonna go to like right here. And how do we do that like
Which tile
measurement
you
thing to
want?
see how or that one, yeah.
There we go.
How do I do that measurement thing to see how far they are?
It doesn't work that way. You got to count the tiles.
Oh, okay. 5, 10,
Albert.
15, 20, 25. They're like within 25 to 30 feet. I'm gonna guess them in, and then I'm gonna cast, if I scroll down, Entangle, which has a 640-foot reach. It's
What
a
the-
duration.
No, that's how far out she can cast it. I'm sure it's not
Yeah.
the size of the spell.
No, I know. I what the fuck?
Yeah, it's range
So
long,
far.
640 feet.
It's not that crazy. It just makes difficult terrain, right?
Yeah, kinda. Its duration 6 minutes. This spell causes tall grass, weeds, and other plants to wrap around the foes in the affected area, and then they have to do. Let me find it. They do a check to see if they fail. If they fail, they become entangled, and if there are thorns or anything in that area, they take 1 point of damage each time they fail.
If there are thorns, but there's not thorns, I'm assuming, at this level, or are there? I think that's something you'd tell me.
Oh no, it's if it's in the area, like if the grass, if there's like weeds or things that would have thorns from the grass that's growing around them.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then the DC for the save is 15 to avoid being entangled.
Wow, that's wild. That's a crazy way to start this out. They both save. Two nat 20s. Craziness.
Oh damn.
Yeah. So
Loaded dice. Loaded digital dice.
no, I rolled at home. They're right here. I can turn the camera
Loaded-
right now.
Loaded at home dice.
Can I do a perception check then as my final thing?
Absolutely. What are you looking for?
I'm specifically looking at, hold on, is it tab? Yeah, this dude. To try to pick up anything like, because obviously this whole thing's showing magic.
Right.
Her father is connected to magic, but like,
But this is
he's
not
not
his
his-
magical aura. She's familiar enough
Yeah.
with his magical aura that she would know that this is not
So she-
his.
if she could do like a perception check or something to kind of like figure out what kind of, could she do like a spell check in this case, like now that she can see it and pick up on the magical aura, or no?
No, because it says spell being cast specifically.
Okay.
So,
Then she's gonna do a perception check on fake father and see if anything like weird showing up that might point to like if this is a shapeshifter or if there's like weird side effects from the spell that might like point in the like what the fuck is this?
Fake
go
mother?
ahead and roll. Make that roll.
Gotta
That is-
roll 10. Okay, and then plus Where is it? 23.
To the contrary, he looks 100% identical to your father. But it is odd that he's wearing the necklace that you found.
Okay. Bitch is gonna die.
Well, that's rude.
Okay, that's gonna be it.
Cool. Then that brings us to our next person, Titus. You're charging.
Puppy!
Nice.
I'm sorry. How big is the radius on your difficult terrain thing?
Let me double check. I don't think it's specified. Entangle.
It's just
I
on
think it's-
individual targets.
In
Oh,
5e,
plant
Entangle
radius is
pretty
okay.
big.
There he is. Plants is a 40-foot radius.
Yeah. 40-foot radius.
Yeah.
80-foot diameter.
Yeah, that's literally that much space centered on them.
Max will stay winning with this crossbow.
So Titus, the grass has just become wildly overgrown here, and in the process of that happening, it became obvious to you that the source of that was a strange masked figure off to the left. Because casting a spell breaks stealth.
Sick with it. I'm gonna go ahead and yell at the strange masked figure. I'll deal with you later. And I'm gonna charge at the ward or the ram thing.
Okay. Does everybody have to make a check when they move in, or is it just count as difficult terrain now?
I think it's just difficult terrain.
I want to say it's just. I'm double checking to be safe. Causes and effects in the area. Let me double check.
So it'll cost you double.
This spell causes tall grass, weeds, and other plants to wrap around the creatures in the area of the effect or those that enter. Creatures that fail their save gave the entangled, so anyone who enters it has to make a check.
Got you.
And then those checks can be breaking with once entangled, can be breaking with a move action, strength check, or escape artist check as long as it meets the DC.
Hey, Dave, do you still have my my PC Gen character sheet?
Oh boy, I'm sure I do somewhere.
Because it says that my speed is 0 feet, and I don't know why.
Are you over encumbered?
That is strange.
Are we dealing with encumbrance?
No, but PC Gen will auto do shit with encumbrance. Titus.
If that's the case, then I'm probably over encumbered. I'm just going to assume my movement speed is 30 feet, so 15 feet. Is that fair?
That's fair. Standard is between 20 and 30 for medium humanoids. So.
Okay, so 5,
10, 15,
5,
20, 25,
10.
30, 35. So with your 5-foot step, that's your movement.
Ah!
You still have an action, unless you want to hold it.
Oh, do you become entangled or no?
Oh yeah, you got to roll your check.
Oh, I thought it was just difficult terrain.
No.
I actually don't think it is difficult terrain. It's literally just.
I don't think it is either.
Entangled. So it's more like living
Oh.
grass that automatically tries to grab you rather than like a difficult terrain.
Oh wait, hold on. The entire area of effect is considered difficult terrain while the effect is lasting. Okay, so yeah, it is, but you just gotta make sure you don't get
snag you right out the gate.
What's my check?
15.
15 of what kind of save?
No, what am I rolling?
You get a strength.
It's a saving throw, reflex save.
Reflex.
Yeah. So it's 3.
Reflexing. Reflexing again, I guess. That would be reflexing, right?
What the fuck?
Chuckle, I
Did it get stuck in there? Yeah. You might need Dave to size up your thing.
I thought I went in the fucking...
It does. It gets stuck in the tower.
I just sized it up, so if it... No, it's right here.
Okay, what is it, +3, so 10. I'm stuck.
You're
The
stuck. Where are
way you
rolling?
said that.
Where are you rolling?
What did you say? In my dice tower. Am I not rolling in my dice
No,
tower?
your dice tower's over here, bro.
Which one's mine? Am I not next to Andres?
Oh.
No, you're next to Jennifer today. I mean, you can roll wherever you want, man. But oh, I see. This is the tower you're rolling on. 7 + 3. Got it. That's fine. Doesn't matter to me, man. You can roll wherever you want.
Jeremy, did you disconnect?
He might have
Yeah,
disconnected.
it said you disconnected.
Bummer. I mean, I'm sure that he'll be back. I'm sure he's just having a weird techno issue, but it kind of doesn't matter because he got ensnared when he moved into the area, so he didn't get to go nowhere. I'm assuming he just gets to try at the start of his turn to break free every turn. Just like
From my
characters would
understanding,
get.
let me double check.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Those fails must end their movement and gain the entangled condition. And then I'll get the entangled condition. Yeah, it just seems to be like every time they can try to break free.
Computer battery died.
Oh no.
Sounds like an intimidate check.
Sounds like an intimidate check.
Yeah, he says I want to try to aggro the ram to charge me.
Yeah, man, that's intimidate.
That's a very funny use of intimidate.
I don't know what my intimidate. Oh wait, hold on, I'm back up. Intimidate is +7. Okay, shit. Okay, I'm gonna roll on my phone real quick.
Roll wherever you want. Dice or dice.
D20 +8. God damn it, that's a 10.
Yeah. On a 10, what are you hollering? I mean, what are you doing?
I mean, it's a fucking goat, right? And it's like, hey, over here, and like I'll throw a rock at it or something, like nothing crazy.
You throw a rock at it and it like bounces off its horns as it's like pulling itself loose from the grass, and it's like chortling, snorting and like looking around, as if it was trying to find the source of the grass. But you big time got stuck, my friend. So.
Sick. Yeah. I mean, I want to try to hold. If it charges to me, then can I attack it?
Fuck yeah, absolutely.
Sick. I'll do that, and I'll end my turn.
Cool. That does bring us to the bad boys. And this goat, which is looking around, has found
Clearly, a goat, not the goat.
Well, a goat. Goat.
Max is the go.
About to say, having not been hit or affected by anyone or anything except this grass, seeks to find the source of it, and I just need to double check what the goat's movement speed is. But I have that stat block. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 on the nose. Bloop. But it can't do its thing because it can't run. So it's just a regular attack with its horns. It's just swinging them horns.
Come at me, bro.
That is a 17 to hit.
That's gonna hit.
Cool. Does.
I said come at me, bro.
Yeah, well, you haven't actually done anything to this goat yet.
I yelled at him. I made him angry.
That is 8 damage from the
Oh
horns
yeah,
of
I
the
am the
goat.
wrong one.
As it was obviously trying to charge full bore at you, and if the terrain were not difficult, it's obvious that this creature would have been able to do a lot more damage than was done. But it's done. The wounded orc tries to stand up and falls back to the ground and says, the grass, it's too thick and I'm hurt. Get me out of here. He's hollering at Titus and Max.
Can Echo say something real quick?
Hold your ground.
Can she or no?
Talking's always free.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Echo is gonna yell at Titus in Orcish.
That's racist.
She primarily speaks Orcish, dumbass. She's gonna yell at.
Did I speak Orcish?
She's gonna yell at. Yeah, she's gonna yell at Titus in Orcish, just kind of saying like, don't fall for his illusion.
And the thing says, I don't know what illusion she speaks of. I don't know who she is. She's trying to trap me here, and I just want to get out of here.
What does this guy look like?
He looks like he looks like an orc, but Jennifer can describe it.
Yeah, I would say he's like mimicking Echo's father, so like pretty big, like half orc dude, like real long hair, kind of like the salt and pepper situation. There's a long beard that's been like, like tied in certain areas and whatnot, but all over the body is like scarification.
Can I do a sense motive on either Echo or the guy to see who's telling the truth?
Yeah. Roll sense motive check.
Who should I do it against?
It's not against. It's just you're trying to.
Okay. Yeah, I'm basically trying to see like, hey, what the fuck's going on here?
Right. The better way to phrase that is, who do you believe?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Oof, my toe popped.
Ooh, that's not bad. 14, 17.
On a 17, you hear the sincerity in the strange masked figure's voice. And it's one of those things like, this crazy goat thing just charged it, and if it's still hollering out to you to not trust this thing, like, it's probably, like, you don't do that when you've got a bad thing in your face unless you're actually trying to look out for somebody. So you got a tendency to believe the strange masked figure.
Okay.
But this guy definitely looks wounded.
Easier to kill. I like it.
Okay, I'm sorry. And so you guys were all talking, really, is what all we were doing. The only thing that took us turn.
Yeah, I think it was still Echo's turn, wasn't it?
It's
Echo just got hit.
It's the bad guy's
Oh,
turn.
my
Yeah.
bad.
So you guys are having a conversation about that. So he's saying, get me out of here. Are you going to holler anything back at him? Max has been very quiet. Does he have anything to add to this moment?
He's here. He heard get me out of here, and then he heard Titus and Echo speak in Orcish, which he does not understand. But I think he's gonna go to the Orcish dude. He's gonna like, can you hold up for a bit? Or, can you hold on for a bit? And he's asking that to the supposedly Echo's father.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're saying that's Echo's father. Can I hold on? Hold on to what? The grass is holding on to me.
Perfect. And then as he loads his crossbow.
Who's he loading that crossbow at?
It's not his turn, so.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And the bad guys are still taking theirs, and the bad guys. The NPCs are taking theirs, and they're done. So Max, you are up.
He's loading his crossbow, and just to double check a rules thing, loading a crossbow is a move action, correct? So if you were to shoot next
as long as you
turn
don't
around.
move, you can shoot and load in the same turn.
Okay, perfect. I mean, he was loading it, or coming into this thing. So I'm assuming it's loaded. But so
Right.
he's gonna shoot at the goat thing.
The goat thing. Great, roll an attack roll.
Billy
Yeah.
Goat Gruff.
Let's see, give it a roll. Which Max has bombs? He has a good dex.
Hey, if you ever make another alchemist.
Yeah, 22 to hit.
That's gonna hit. Roll your damage.
Ooh, nice. Max damage 8.
8 damage. Cool. And this is the goat. Let me just type that goat. Goat. 8 damage, which brings him to. He's still just in the wounded category.
Max is then gonna load up his crossbow again, and that's gonna be it for his turn.
Okay. Brings us back to the top with Echo and Hermantis.
Okay, let me see what I got. Let me see what I got. Okay, girl. Okay, no, can't use that.
Spells will require concentration checks because there's a thing all up in your grill. Ranged attacks
Mhm.
will provoke attacks of opportunity because you're right next to the thing.
Yeah, okay. I'm double checking some feats just before I do anything.
Yeah, you're square. But I'm sure that bug of yours will be very useful here.
I ain't bringing that bug out. I'm gonna just say it.
No?
No, I'm protecting this bug in this specific combat. Also for fun reasons. Okay, you can make an additional rank. Okay, gotta do that. Okay. Okay. Echo is going to do Deadly Aim, which would be take the -2 on all ranged attacks, gain the +4 on the bonus.
Gotcha.
And then she's going to do Rapid Shot as well. You can make an additional ranged attack.
Right. Add another minus bonus, right?
Yeah, all of your attack rolls take a -2 penalty when using Rapid Shot.
So it's -4 instead of -2.
-4. And then, would the +4 bonus just be to one shot or both?
For which one? Which +4 bonus?
The +4 bonus from the Deadly Aim, you gain a +4 bonus on the damage rolls.
I think that's on all your shots.
On all? Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to double check.
Yeah, I think it's on all your shots.
And then, how many feet is Fake Daddy?
Less than 30, or 30 or less. 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, 30 exactly.
Okay, so 10. So instead of adding 10, I'll add 6. Okay. Okay. So 14 plus 6, so a dirty 20 for one shot.
Yeah, that'll hit one.
And then nat 1 for the other one, but that +6, so 7.
Got you. The nat 1 on the attack is going to essentially be a misfire. So it is going to bring your turn to a halt, as all critical failures do in my games. But the first attack absolutely goes through, so go ahead and roll your damage for that.
Okay. I was about to say, like, oh no, the first one don't go through.
No. It's just as soon as you roll the one, which is why I always encourage you to roll your attacks one at a time.
Okay, 6 plus 4 plus 1. 11.
11.
On Fake Daddy.
On Daddy. So the orc has taken 11 damage, which I will look and see how much wounded that is for him. But as soon as the arrow strikes him, there is an inhuman shriek which comes from the creature, and it begins to elongate, and the tone of its skin changes from green to a pale blue. Its eyes lose its irises, lose their pupils, and it's just a uniform blackness. Its hands end in long, like spindly claw fingers, and this vaguely humanoid shape no longer looks like an orc and is just a vaguely humanoid shape, clawed and shrieking.
Could for Echo's check, could she do a? What kind of check would that be to see what creature it is?
That's probably survival, unless you have a specific knowledge check you want to run.
No, I'll do survival. Dun 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 dun. Okay, over here. Doot doot. Oh shit. Okay, there we go. It's in the thing now. 15 plus 16. I can't do math.
She looks at this thing and it does not look like anything that she has encountered in the wild. And it doesn't look like anything she's seen in the books that she's read. However, it does match the description of some creatures from some like fairy tale stories that were from like kids' books about, you know, strange creatures who were able to take the form of another, but like Echo's never experienced this before.
Okay, cool beans. Okay, that's gonna be it.
I'll say downside of living in the same forest your whole life.
Yeah. I was gonna be like, is there any chance she read it in a book?
Yeah, but only in fairy tale form. So.
It's the boogeyman. Ooga booga.
But this transformation is easily visible and obvious to everyone involved.
Are we gonna get a change of miniatures?
No, I don't have another one. Maybe eventually.
Damn.
I don't have one right away. But I think it's still your turn, Echo.
No, because I
we're
did my
taking an attack of
shot.
opportunity because you took a ranged attack next to the goat.
Yeah.
Who's gonna roll another 17?
That's gonna hit.
Oof, that is 9 damage.
Okay.
And if you are done, Titus, you're up. You can start with a check to break yourself free of the grass. Or, at any point in time, Echo can drop this spell. But you'll need to plead with her.
Oh, I think Jeremy's muted.
Oh, is he muted?
Yeah.
Perhaps he went outside for something.
Oh, he might be taking the dog out to go to the bathroom.
I didn't realize I was still muted. My bad.
No, you're good.
So are you gonna drop it, or do you want me to try to break through?
If you want to ask.
To her.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Dave's probably gonna be like, you have to ask.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna. I was mainly asking to see how far I could move because he's gonna charge forward regardless. Like now that he sees this dude.
Well, a movement check, I want to say, can break it. Hold on.
Well, I think he also saved it, so the only one who's affected by it is
free
Titus.
check, but he doesn't need to use the free check if you're going to drop it. So So I don't know what you guys are doing at this point.
Okay, fine. Then I'll just fucking roll the thing. What I get? That's 10 plus. What am I doing? Reflex. So 13.
13 does not save.
Cool.
So
you can also make a to let you know because you don't
save. Does not save.
You can also do a strength check instead, or an escape artist check. Because I know Titus is strength based.
Okay, that's important information. Titus, what's your strength or escape artist? Are they better than your reflex?
Son of a bitch. Well, I mean, yeah, my strength is better than my strength is my main stat.
That's why I was mentioning it.
Okay, so it's a 15. If I'm only using my strength ability modifier, it's a 15.
Then that will save, and you can.
There you go.
Now move, so you're solid.
Oh, I thought I could still move regardless. It was just difficult terrain.
No, it's difficult terrain, and you can't move unless you make the save. The grass actively reaches out and grabs you and anchors you.
Got it. Well, I moved to where I wanted to anyway, except I don't remember how to flip my guy.
It's F for flip.
F for flip.
There you go.
Look at that. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. God damn you! Stop it.
Oh, also, I don't know if you were here for this, but this thing transformed.
Yeah, no, I was.
Okay.
I just forgot that I muted myself. So yeah, I see this dude transform. I'm like, what the fuck? And I recall my sense motive thing and say, yes, another target. So I'm gonna go ahead and charge him, and I'm gonna hit him. I'm gonna hit him real good. with my bonuses. Okay, so yeah. So that's gonna be that's a 7? Really? Okay, 19 to hit.
19 to hit will hit.
Cool. That is D12. Oh, max damage. 20 points of slashing damage.
Did you say 20 points of slashing damage?
20 points of slashing damage.
Great. Let me take a look at this here. With the 11 from before, I gotta check something real quick here. No, he's still good. He's still in it. But he is now bloodied.
Is
Okay,
bloodied the
so-
25% one?
20 bloodied is under half.
Okay.
Yeah, bruised, bloody, badly beaten is what I'm familiar with.
Yeah, that's a solid one. Yeah, wounded, bloodied, death's door, but same difference. Yeah.
Okay, and then so I'll just attack him again. I got another one, so there we go. That's not nearly as good. That's an 11.
11 does not strike the.
Okay, so my first strike, I bring the axe down, and I think I like cleave it into his shoulder, and I try to pull it out to go again, and I just sort of get stuck, so I stumble pulling it out of his shoulder.
You get
That's
stuck
the end.
because part of his shoulders changes form and like traps the axe under it, like it regrows on top of the axe. You have to like yank it out because it's like shifting as the axe is cleaving.
Right.
Cool.
So yeah, that's all I got.
Cool. Very great. This thing straightens up and shrieks at you and makes 2 attacks, Titus, with its crazy ass claws.
I would appreciate if you didn't, but okay.
Let me roll that. The 12 is the only one that will probably hit, and that is.
You said a 12?
Well, 12 plus is his thing. Give me a second.
Oh, okay.
12 is plus 8, so that's actually a dirty 20.
Ah, yeah, barely.
Yeah. So he gets one of these here bad boys with some X-ray. That is a big 09 on the dim dam as it slices you. The big goat is gonna keep on wailing on Echo because that's where he is. That's a big hit, I'm sure. Actually, that might even be a crit. That is a crit. And remind me, this is an auto crit campaign, correct?
Yes.
What that means?
Yes. We decided like 4 sessions ago.
We used to roll twice when you crit. You'd roll to crit and then you'd roll again to see if you confirmed the crit. And I made the option. I'm like, you guys can change at any point as long as it's unanimous that you'd want to do that. And I thought that you guys did that a few sessions ago, and Titus is confirming that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want
I
to
assume know
hear
what
an
it is.
interesting thing from Pathfinder 2nd Edition though?
What's that? Oh, you know what? Actually, I know about that. That you crit on a certain threshold above the AC. So you always crit fail if you miss it by 10 or more, and you always crit if you beat it by 10 or more.
Not just ACs, but DCs too. So if you cast spells that are a DC save and they roll like 10 under your spell save DC, then it's crit damage.
Right, which is cool. But I feel like it'll encourage the general idea of min maxing, because then you want to maximize what all those numbers are so you can get them up above 10 and crit all the time. which is, it's one of those things that you can put into your game, you can bake it into your game design. That's super fine, but it's probably not something that I'm interested in baking into my games because I'm like, I don't know if I want
Mhm.
to encourage that kind of behavior. I'd rather just set DCs and if you get and having I like crit ranges, like a 19 or a 20 can crit. You get a legendary
Yeah,
weapon, maybe it crits on a 17 through 20, and
that'd be cool.
stuff like that.
Okay, tell me what I gotta delete from my house.
What you got to delete from
Whole
your house?
arm.
Yeah,
What
because
was it?
the damage.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's right. What you got to delete from your health? The
My,
goat
my
is
bad.
only a D8 or a D6. Excuse me. So we're only doubling a D6. Wow, max damage.
Ooh.
6 gets doubled to 12 plus his modifier turns into 16. Big fat damage.
Fuck them up.
How you looking there, Echo? Are you bloodied at this point? Below your halfway point?
What's 55 divided by 2?
23.
Yeah.
I am not. I'm above the halfway point.
Great. Then
No,
you
it's close.
are
It's closer to 27.
then you are just wounded. So sick. Cool. So so if your party members glance over at you, you will look wounded, but you will not look like you're into that bloodied state yet, which may or may not end up being important to them here because something weird is happening.
No, I don't like that.
The wagon's moving on its own.
Oh no.
Don't like
And
that.
it made it save. And the tongue of the wagon turns into a literal tongue, and teeth begin to protrude from the top and bottom of it, and it's a mimic, and it's attacking Titus.
No, why you gotta do that?
Fuck.
You done just possessed the Scooby Doo machine, the mystery machine.
Nothing is
gonna
as it
say-
seems.
How the fuck did the mimic get a better save than me? This is bullshit.
Heal.
I knew this thing was a mimic.
That's Titus's thing is failing saves.
Titus is
Seriously.
failing saves. He does. He has a slam, but he can't do a slam super effectively. I guess he can still do it as long as he can move, and he has the movement to do it. So yeah, man, he's going for that wham bam slam you ma'am. Rolls a big fat 23.
Oh, I suppose.
Oh, that's the wrong dice. Might be. Doesn't count. Meant to be. Doesn't matter. So that is 13 damage, and you are stuck to this wagon. It's covered in some kind of sticky adhesive substance, and it is like slammed into you. And as you are attempting to pull away from it, mechanically you are now grappled. So you'll need to take a movement action to try or a standard action to try and ungrapple yourself. If you like, you can always swing. You're still in the position to attack stuff. You just
Well,
can't move.
So ungrappling would just be for the sake of movement. I could still attack while I'm grappled, though, right?
It's a standard.
They're stuck
You can
with
still
you.
attack while you're grappled. The kicker is that if you decide I want to try to get ungrappled, you have to sacrifice your attack that turn. If you want to just
Right.
stand where you are and attack, no problem.
Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure, because I'm just gonna fuck this guy up.
Yeah, I
Fuck
kind of
him up.
figured. And on that note, Max, it's your turn to do some fucking up because now all three of the bad guys have gone.
Okay. Question: what is a ranged touch attack?
A ranged touch attack.
Yes.
Five.
That is a ranged attack that uses your touch attack modifier to basically the idea is it ignores armor. Like you don't have to pierce through the armor to get to them. You just have to make contact with their body over whatever your range is. So it essentially ignores armor is what it does.
Okay. What would I use for the attack one?
You have a touch attack bonus, is that right? Like it says touch attack
Just
plus
unarmed.
whatever. No,
I don't know where that would be. It's not been used before.
Oh no, you have a touch AC. Excuse me. I think you use your base attack bonus. You're bad. No, I think you use your ranged attack bonus because it's a touch ranged attack. So you use your ranged attack bonus. You just
Okay,
ignore
so
the AC. It mostly matters for the defender. It doesn't really matter for you.
What the
okay,
hell is a
so
touch ranged attack?
The idea is you don't have to you don't have to get through the armor. You just have to physically make contact with some part of the body, and it's like a lightning bolt, right? Like if you hit somebody with a lightning shot from 30 feet away, it doesn't matter if you shot it at a super high velocity or if it just barely got there. Like once it makes contact, it's gonna electrocute. So the armor doesn't really matter. That's kind of the concept.
Okay.
Okay. So for the light crossbow that I become, the bonus on that is +9.
Okay.
But it's also using it's also because it's a deity's favored weapon. It's using my wisdom modifier instead of my dex modifier.
Hell yeah.
If I'm doing a ranged touch attack, would I be using just the base attack bonus plus the dex?
No, you're using it's called your ranged attack bonus. It's under your melee attack bonus and above your CMB. It's like a plus number that's unchanging. It's on your sheet. Underneath your saving throws.
Okay. Figured it out. Yeah, it is that. It's a +5. Okay, perfect. So, our Max is going to cast Fearing Light, a level 3 spell, and that I need to make that. I need to do a roll.
Yeah, because you're making the attack. That's correct. You're trying to beat an AC in this instance. And you're attacking the wagon?
I am attacking the goo creature.
The goat?
Goo creature.
Goo creature?
The one.
The
one that was
the
there you
shapeless, go. Yeah, got you.
You're attacking the
I
bug?
gotta figure out what AC I'm looking at here.
Wait, which one are you attacking? The goat?
No,
humanoid.
He's attacking ex-daddy. Used to be daddy.
Oh, okay.
It's not gonna hit unless. So let's see, total of 7 for the touch AC.
No, his touch AC is much higher than 7. So
okay, let me see if
sail quite wide.
Let me see if there's anything that happens aside from if it fails.
Yeah, that's fair. I think you
Level
probably have to land the attack for it to take effect. Usually, that's how those work.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's a miss then. Damn. That was a level 3 spell slot.
That's it? Jeez.
That's rough.
Hey, if it hit, it was gonna be 3d8 damage.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one of those things. You still got to land the shot, so that makes sense. Anything else, Max? You still got your movement if you want to use it, or you can reload on that. No, wait, that was a
He didn't.
magic thing.
Yeah.
So never mind.
I think.
Do you have anything to say to anybody as the scene unfolds in front of you?
Fuck them up.
Yeah, you see just a giant beam of light go out from Max's hands, and it like sails wide and hits a tree behind it's a tree behind the bloody creature, and there's a hole there now, and it's
it
just
sparks into like rainbow opalescent like energy shimmers as it like impacts and like tree limbs go fucking flying, and there's obviously
that was a warning shot,
like a shit ton of impacts behind it, as there's like a firework basically that goes off at the base of one of the trees.
He is going to. Is there like a rock in the area that he can go behind for partial cover?
Closest thing like that is going to be probably this tree, or kind of up the cliff here.
I'm gonna go for the tree right here.
That was a warning shot. The next one won't miss.
He just says shit under his breath, and that's gonna be it for him.
We were back up to Echo. You've got this angry goat in your face. The wagon now has teeth. Daddy is now shapeless. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Am I able to cast a spell and do an attack in the same round or no? Because okay. What if okay.
There might be a feat that lets you do it.
Maybe. I was wondering because I'm wanting to cast Gravity Bow, which is one standard action, but I assumed,
Yeah. So that means it would apply on your next shot if you did standard. but you could still move. But obviously, you don't want to move right now. That's the kind of thing where, like, you're creeping in, you see all this stuff going on, you cast Gravity Bow, and then that's like a startup combat spell.
Gravity
Okay.
Bow.
And I'll remind you that a spell will require a concentration check at this point, which are usually super easy. But
Yeah. Okay. Could I do the gravity bow and then try to move away? But yeah, and like take the hit if I get hit.
yeah, it'll be an attack of opportunity, but you can absolutely do that. Mm-hmm.
Oh no. Okay, never mind. We're back to normal. We're good. Okay, let me check one thing because I have a movement thingy. I can. It's part of the thing. Let me see. Okay. So Echo is going to cast that spell. So what do I gotta beat?
You roll a concentration check, and it's 10 plus level of the spell.
Okay. That's gonna be a 12. Okay. And I got 20. Fuck
Yeah,
it.
you're concentrating all right. You're focused.
Big brain moment. She's going to. Can I also lower the grass, or is that a separate thing I have to
No,
do?
that's a free action. At any point, you can make the grass go away, but it's it's an
Okay.
all or nothing.
We're gonna garden right now, and the grass is gonna go away.
Okay, great. I'll erase that. And as the rest of the party sees the grass, the long grass kind of like fall lifeless and kind of shrink back into the earth.
Okay, and then. Echo is going to make a bold run over as far as she physically can in this general direction.
Okay, are you fleeing combat or are you moving tactically?
Like tactically.
Then that's just your movement.
Yeah. Okay, the 30 feet then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She'll move right here. She'll move to here.
I rolled the attack of opportunity. It came up as 15.
That does not hit.
Cool. Then you just get away cleanly. Anything else you'd like to do?
She's gonna just like stare at Max, like for a good second, and then like look back over here.
Who the fuck is this guy?
So
He's just like
large masked figure with this huge horn protruding from the middle of its forehead.
She's not very large. She's like 5'4".
Yeah, but with the extra foot added by your horn, that's 6'4". I mean, that's
The horn's not a foot.
from tip top to bottom. How big's the horn?
The horn's like at max. Her height's like 5'10" or 5'11". Well, her head it's like 5'4".
Okay, I guess that's fair. The horn kind of looks like it comes out the front of your forehead. Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
So
It ain't that big.
So there's still, maybe it's exaggerated because he's never seen anything like this before, so you appear larger than you are, as just like staring silently through this wooden mask, and then turns away.
I'm posting her design in the chat for funsies. So boop boop.
He's just like, before he turns away, he's to like see friends. It's like he holds up his crossbow and and like looks at her bow.
Yeah, and that's gonna be it for Echo.
Titus, you're up, bud.
Well, fuck both of these guys. I would like to attack Fake Daddy, but the mimic seems to be the bigger issue. So I'm gonna go ahead and swing at him since he's grappling me.
Okay, sounds great. Give it a swing.
Oh, that kind of worked.
I want the effect. Oh god, I should have taken the other one.
I was gonna say you should take it.
7. It's okay. I've got a good initial. That's a 19 to hit.
That hits. Roll your damage.
Do, do, do.
Do you have 2 attacks?
I do.
Okay.
Plus 8. So 14 slashing damage. Whoops.
14 slashing damage brings him to wounded. You gonna roll your second attack against him as well?
Hell yeah. Nope, that's the wrong dice. Yeah. Oh, baby.
Ooh, baby.
23 to hit.
That hits. Roll your damage.
Yeah. Nope. Nope. Do the thing.
Do the thing. Do the thing.
Do the thing.
So plus 8. 15 slashing damage.
Wow. That's so much
Yes.
damage. He's bloodied. They're both bloodied.
No. I'll just scream, somebody get this fucking thing off me.
And you guys just look
Dead.
over and see Titus like stuck to the side of this wagon that kind of resembles a dog trying to bite its own tail. It's like turned awkwardly, like snapping at him, stuck to its side. While what used to be Daddy is like, rearing back its claws for another swipe at him. Any response to Titus's call for help, my friends? Verbally, because talking is always free.
Let's see. Max is just gonna be like, I got something cooking. Don't you worry. And that's it. That's it. That's what his response.
Okay. Which is going to bring us to the bad boys.
Bad boys.
What you gonna do? Thank you so much.
What you gonna do when it comes from you?
Thank you for being there for me on that. I really appreciate that, Jennifer. That makes me feel good. Okay, so
What? Singing along to Bad Boys?
well, just being on the same page, like
Oh.
as soon as you hear Bad Boys, you're like, oh, you mean like Bad Boys? Like it's just like an instinct. You don't think about it. You're just like Bad Boys,
What
Bad
you
Boys,
gonna-
Bad Boys. What you
what
gonna
you
do?
gonna-
Like it just comes out of
what
you. I appreciate that.
Do.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 35. What's up, Max? You've been shooting at this goat, and he's not really happy about it. And there's no more weeds, and he can run full bore at you now. So he's going to come at you. I am going to give you your 20% dodge because you have partial cover. But you're not going to need it because it was a low enough roll. So this thing slams
What?
into the...
What's the roll total out to?
Roll totals out to... I'm sorry, give me a second.
He has a low AC.
Is your AC that low?
Depends on what that total is.
What was the number on the dice? It's
A 5.
That's 11 total.
Ooh, just missed. He has AC 12.
Okay, there you
God
go.
damn.
So even if he had hit, you still have the 20% chance. But I'm going to narrate it that anyway. That Max, makes himself sparse behind the tree and just feels the, rumble of the tree, poof, as this thing makes contact, sees the splinters of wood come flying off of it, branches shake, shit falls out of the tree and lands on his head, acorns and pine cones and shit. And this thing is, right the fuck next to him, in his grill, ready to jump at him again. The two creatures over by Titus are both going to take swings at him, so we're going to go these two for this guy, and I'll roll for the wagon. Wagon rolls a 19 to hit.
What was the number again?
19.
Barely.
Then Daddy turns into I want to say, it's either a 16 or a 17, so if 19 barely, I don't think either of those hit you. Let me confirm. Oh, excuse me. No, he's got a huge modifier. I misread that.
No.
So that's a dirty 20 and a 14.
The 14 misses.
Okay, so we've got one from the wagon and one from the claws. So we got the claw coming now. The claw! 6 damage. And
Claw.
the claw. And the wagon does. Ah, sweet minimum damage. 7 damage as it begins to curve and curl around you and begins to squeeze tighter as the teeth aren't able to get to you. The form of the wagon is becoming more serpentine as it it looks like a car that gets wrapped around a tree, and you're the tree as it begins clamping down on you. But that's it. That's it for the bad guys. And that
Somebody get this fucking thing off me.
that brings us to Max, as Titus is screaming to get this thing off of him, and now Max has a crazed goat thing in its face.
Okay. Let's see. With Okay.
Stop.
Let's see. Okay. Perfect. Max is going to use murderous command
Whoa.
Ooh, I
on
love
the
murderous command. What's the? I
Same.
know all
Pretty
about
metal.
it. What? Just tell me what the DC is, and who you're casting it on.
DC. That's level 1. Its DC is going to be 15.
15.
And yeah, he's going to do it on the goat creature, and he's gonna. Can he? I don't think he can.
You just got to
have it
cast a
select.
concentration check, then, my friend, because you were in duress. 10 plus level of spell.
I'm so used to clicking on the top part of the screen with Owlbear for the dice rolls.
Oh yeah.
16 is the raw number plus.
You got it. You're fine.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure it's not more than a 3rd or 4th level spell. You can't have access to more than that.
No, it's a first level spell.
Yeah, so you're super fine. 11 is the DC, so you're great. So then I am rolling for the crazy warg thing, and you're telling me what that is.
The DC is 15.
Oof, of what? Because 12 is close. What flavor?
Oh, my bad. A will save.
A will save. Oh, 12 plus 4 turns to 16. And this goat thing, like, turns with, you see murder come across this thing's face, and it turns around, and it picks a paw up to start moving over, and then it stops and turns its head back and looks at you, Max, with murder still in its eyes.
God damn. Okay. So, the other thing I want to do, and it does not say, it does not give me, like, if it's an action or not, and even looking up on the site, but, Inspiring Command, or never mind, not Inspiring Command, Deflection Aura. It just says, once a day, you can emit 20-foot aura for 6 round. Allies within the aura gain a 2+ deflection bonus to AC and combat maneuver defense.
What's your class?
Cleric.
What level are you?
6.
6th level. So you do get spontaneous casting. You can channel a stored energy spell into healing spells you do not prepare ahead of time. Clericers know that good at you. Yeah, that's fine. That doesn't have anything to do with what we're looking at here. Then spell casting. You have a spell list. It's a spell that you're casting, or it's a
No, it's a
class ability.
I believe it's one of the class things.
Is it an horizon?
No. I want to say it was one of the domain things that I had got.
Each day, a cleric can prepare one of the spells from her 2 domains in that spot. If a domain spell is not on the cleric list, you can prepare it. Domain spells can't be cast spontaneously.
Wait, it's an SU. That's a feat, right? What is that?
I don't know what an SU is. It's a once a day.
Yes.
In this instance, I'll give it to you spontaneously, and we will take it on a case by case from here.
Okay. I'm assuming it would affect me too, right?
I'm sorry. What are you even doing?
Basically, cast a 20-foot aura for 6 round. Allies within the aura gain a 2+2 AC.
Yeah, that'd be yourself as well.
Okay, so
ally of you.
Yeah, casting that, and so Max's AC is going to go up, and Echo's is going to go up as well since she's in range, but not Titus, unfortunately. But that'll be it for him.
Which thing goes up?
Your AC.
2+ AC.
Okay.
To hit you, and that you have to stay close to Max to keep that. And
Okay.
You're up, Echo.
Woo woo. Okay. I'm gonna do the same thing I did with the last attack thing, where I did the deadly aim and then the double shot, whatever.
Yeah, but now there's nothing
with
to
the
swing
double,
at you, so.
Yeah, with the double shot, I'm gonna look at the description just to double check in case it says it, but.
I mean, you just get to take an extra attack, as far as I'm concerned, right?
Yeah, it just says you can make an additional range attack. So could I do it at 2 separate things, or do I have to have it at 1?
I don't understand your question.
Could I shoot Fake Daddy and the cart, or do I have to only
I think
hit Fake Daddy twice?
I think you can shoot at separate targets. That's fine.
Okay, I wanted to double check. Okay, so then, yeah, okay, so +4 on those if I get it, and then the -6 whatever I get. Okay. Okay, so we got a. Hold on, my brain. Okay, so that's an 18 for the first
what
one.
Are you shooting at?
First one's gonna be Big Daddy.
Okay, 18 hits Big
and
Daddy.
And then the other one, it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 15 for the cart.
15 does not.
Okay, and then since I have that giant bow thing on, let me add it to my character.
Just roll a bigger dice. So what do you roll on your bow right now? Is it a D6 or a D8?
Well, I added it. It's an effect of the spell. I just added it.
I know. It lets you roll as if it were size category larger, which just lets you roll a bigger dice. So if you normally roll a D6, you roll a D8. If you normally roll a D8, you roll a D10, and that's that.
Oh, this is different. When I add the effect for the composite bow, it has me go to 2d6 + 1 instead of 1d8 + 1.
Interesting. 2d6
Yeah,
that'd be better than a d10. That's
okay.
That's interesting.
And
okay, cool.
Okay. So 2d6 and then +1 +4. Okay. Okay. Dun 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 dun. Okay, 1. Don't like it.
So you normally must do 1d8 of damage, and then
that one got caught.
Next.
I'm gonna just click it. This one's being weird. It keeps cocking. 4. Do your thingy. Oh, I got 1 twice. God damn it.
Bummer.
Okay, and then +1, so 3 +4, 1, 2, 3, 4, so 7.
7 damage.
Yeah.
It is still bloodied.
Damn.
But it's got an arrow sticking out of it now.
That's true.
No, actually, excuse me. No, it wasn't the wagon you got. You got Daddy.
I got Big Daddy, yeah.
You got Daddy.
No, Big Daddy's long dead.
Oh,
he isn't.
Stop it. No. He's talking about the other campaign. He's talking about Bogan.
Oh, okay.
He's not talking about X-Daddy. He's talking about Big Daddy.
I was gonna say, what he
was
doing?
what was your final? What was your final?
Oh, my brain did it too. 7?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just hanging in there on death's door.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
Whoa.
Okay. Anything else,
Nah,
Echo?
I think I'm good.
All right, Titus, you're getting squeezed by a wagon. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna continue hitting that fucking wagon.
You're You're gonna hit the wagon. Give it a go. You hit that wagon.
Gonna hit the wagon.
Oh, baby, that's a 31 to hit.
Oh,
God
man.
damn.
That hits.
I feel like that should crit.
Was that a 19 on the die?
It was a 19 on the dice.
Does a 19 crit with your weapon?
I don't think so.
It'll say on
I
your
feel like if
weapon,
that was a feat, I absolutely would have grabbed it, but
no,
I
it's
don't
not a
think
feat.
so.
It's just a weapon thing. So when you look like where it says critical on the last column of your weapon, does that say 19, 20, or does it just say 20?
No, it's just 20.
Ah, bum. Close.
I was gonna say that feels like it should crit.
Big hit. Abso-fucking-lutely. Roll your damage.
That's gonna be say the 17 points slashing damage.
17 damage against the wagon.
Ooh.
Fuck that wagon. I believe I got a 9 on the dice plus
Down-
7.
Down to death's
No,
door.
it was
This
16.
thing is
No,
not.
plus 8, 17.
This thing is not longed for this world.
All right, well, I'm gonna hit him again
Okay.
because I'm sick of this fucking wagon. Sick of this bullshit.
The foe
Oh
of
my
all
god,
adventuring
that's another
parties,
19.
the wagon.
What was that?
I'm exhausted. I might take sleep more. Okay, Becky, go sleep. We love you. Thank you for being here. Feel better. Your health is very important. You hit. Roll your damage.
It was a 19 plus 7, so 16 to hit.
Wait, a 19
or 26.
Yeah, that hits.
Math.
Yeah, that hits. I was about to say 16 wouldn't. A 26 would.
Shit, where the fuck? Hey, I made it. Oh no. 2 plus 8, 10 points of slashing
It's
damage.
very wounded. I wouldn't worry about it. You get to slay
Damn it.
this here wagon in whatever means you want, because it's dead now.
Oh, it's dead. Cool.
It's
Yeah.
dead.
If it's grappling me, I want to just like shove the pointy end of my axe between the two blades, just like I guess through its undercarriage, and then continue bisecting it with both ends of the axe.
Love it. And you separate it and yourself from it in the process.
And I will end my turn by turning. Is Fake Daddy still there?
He is. He's standing.
Yeah, I'm gonna end my turn by turning to him and like growling at him or something. Like, you're next.
Cool. Are you done?
I am done, and with that, I think I'm in a pretty safe position. I'm going to take the dog out while y'all probably finish this guy.
Cool. The only thing I want to say to you before you leave is that this thing is mimicking your face. It looks exactly like you at this point.
Cool. So what you're saying is this is therapy. Got it.
And it's gonna take
My AC is 18. I've got 30 HP left.
AC is 18. You got it. I'm gonna do the doppelganger attacks first so that we can
Cool.
get this figured out. One hits, the other does not. But if he's at 30 HP, it's probably not gonna kill him. It's just gonna do minimum damage of 5. So if you guys would write on the side of your damage somewhere, Titus 5 damage for when he comes back. We will handle all of that away. And the goat is going to take another swing at Max. Yo, big 3 with an 8 turns to an 11 to hit, which I don't think hits because we just established your 12 to hit, right?
And it's 14 now, thanks to the
And
ore.
it's 14 now anyway. And even if it had hit, you'd still have your cover. Well, now you wouldn't because the goat's moving. But yeah. And then it's going to be Max's turn.
He is with the searing light. Since it's a ranged touch attack, will he take Will there be an attack of opportunity if he casts it?
Yep, because he's casting a spell, right?
Yes.
So he has to. No, I think it's just a concentration check. I don't know if he takes
Okay.
an AoE on that. Maybe.
No, it's just there's no AOE on it. But that's what he is going to do. He's gonna. It's a level 3 spell, so it would be a what would be the concentration check?
Excuse me. Ranged touch attacks do provoke an attack of opportunity. Do you still want to do this? I just ran a quick search.
Yeah.
Okay. Then give it a go.
Okay. Concentration check then.
Concentration check first to make sure that your spell pops off, despite the fact that you are being threatened by a creature. And that you can keep your focus on your magical energies and the words and motions required to cast spells under pressure.
Okay. What would be the DC for that?
10 plus the spell's level.
Okay. And is it a flat roll?
That's what I wanted to make sure. I thought that you got to add something to it. Concentration. You add your caster level, so you get to add your level. And the ability score modifier used to determine bonus spells of the same type. So, what's your like caster stat?
Caster level would be 3.
And then your stat, what like a charisma, like what do you use for your casting?
Oh, wisdom.
Wisdom. What's your wisdom modifier?
+4.
So you get to add your level plus your wisdom modifier to your concentration check.
Okay, so 15, so that would make it then.
Cool, sweet.
And then it's a ranged touch attack, so I just need to actually beat the AC for it, correct?
The touch AC of him, correct.
Touch AC, okay. I'm going to use some inspiration.
Okay, you can inspire yourself. That's great. And what are you casting on?
On the ram thing.
The ram thing. That's much better.
16 to hit.
16 to hit will beat his touch AC easily. So go ahead and roll your damage, good sir.
So 3d8. Let's do it.
I think you're going to obliterate this goat right now, but we're going to see.
Not great. 10.
10 total will still finish off the goat.
So like, Max just Iron Man style holds out a palm, and like in front of this thing's face, as like it takes a swipe at him and misses, and it just like feel the power of the sun, and it like blasts it.
I like it.
With that, then he is going to. I think it's going to matter right now because I think Big Daddy's going to die before it gets to Titus or anything, but he's going to move over here so that Titus will be in range of his to get the bonus to AC.
Cool.
And that's going to be it for him.
Jennifer, please roll me a perception check.
Yeah. What is something? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. 19.
19. You are able to track which one of the Tituses is actually Big Daddy as you are moving through your turn and making your decision. So what would you like to do with your turn?
She's gonna let me see if that one effect is still going. I believe it is, but just to be honest, I said.
Shoot, if only Jeremy was here to witness this.
Yeah, gravity bow. Okay, it's still going. I'm gonna do the exact same thing I did last time. Double shot of Big Daddy.
Cool.
And I confirmed which one was Big Daddy. Like,
Yeah. That's what the perception check was.
okay. Okay. I was on make sure. Like, Titus comes back. Sorry, Titus, you died. Get in the
And you only
tower.
got the chance to roll because you were already shooting at Big Daddy.
Yeah.
Like Max straight up would have had to have just flipped a coin and guessed which one was like evens odds style.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, 7. 24 on the first one to hit.
That hits. Go ahead and roll your second to hit, and then we'll take care of damage.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 14.
14 is not going to hit on the second one, but the first one will. So go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay, so where's the thingy? Do you thingies? Okay, 5, and then the +4, so 9, and then the +1, 10.
10 damage total on the orc. Will finish him off. Go ahead and describe his death to us.
We're just gonna kind of see like Faye, pull the arrow back and just shoot him right in between the like mouth where it goes right through the cheek, and you see like hear the crunching in the teeth as they like fly out as the arrow goes through the other side of the mouth.
Yep.
And if we could, can his face be embedded into the cart monster?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's it. And these guys all crumple and are dead, and you guys are all united once more in free action. Jeremy, are you quite back yet? Okay, no problem. I'm gonna call we were like pushing through. We're not gonna have a ton of session left, I don't think, but I still want to call a quick 5-minute break. So let's break for a few minutes. We'll come back in 5, and Jeremy will be here, and we'll finish out the session.
Yep.
Cool.
Cool. guys. So Titus has just slayed the strange creature, that the shape shifting creature, as well as this wagon thing here. Max has slain this goat, and I actually forgot to mention that at the instant that the goat creature died, it actually transformed itself into like a humanoid creature
What
as
the
well,
fuck?
which laid dead on the ground. And you guys are in free action, able to do whatever it is you'd like to do. The ball is in your court.
I mean, I know it's a mimic, but I still want to like loot the cart to see if there's any goodies in there.
Go ahead and roll me a charisma or survival check, whichever you like, my friend. What would the rest of you like to do?
Would Max be able to see what know what these things are?
Do you want to propose a check to roll?
Yeah. I mean, either Arcana or History, depending on whichever is more appropriate, or Nature, but that's one that he doesn't have.
I would take Arcana. It's a magical creature. I'd take an Arcana check.
So let's see. Hopefully, it's a good roll.
16 survival.
16 survival. Okay.
Yes, sir.
You do not find any kind of goodies. What you do find is 22 silver pieces.
Well, ain't that just some shit?
I was gonna just turn around and start walking back the way she had came.
22 on Arcana.
22 on Arcana. You studied at the college at the Free People's Academy, correct?
Yes.
This is a doppelganger. This is a doppelganger and a mimic. 100%. That is what this is. A doppelganger is a creature that has no form initially, but can take on the form of any creature it's ever seen at only a glance. So they have an unlimited repertoire, essentially, of human. Like one walk through one city one time, and a doppelganger gets an unlimited repertoire of disguises to hide behind. The other is a mimic, which is a less intelligent creature, which resembles mundane items, and has a tendency to trap, or otherwise capture anyone who draws close enough to them.
And thinking of this, and then Max is thinking like that first, the orc person looked vaguely familiar. And then, rifling through his bag, he's going to look through that one thing in Ruinswick that had been posted up there that Tim had gotten. And then he's like, he shows it to Max, and he's like, or not Max, he shows it to Titus, and he's like, this thing, he looked like this, didn't he?
What did you say he looked like again?
He looked like he's holding up the one notice that we know that Echo had put up in Ruinswick, and it was the help wanted thing of the dad.
Finding the dad.
So yeah, basically Tim's holding a billfold in front of you,
right,
with a loose sketch on it that exactly matches what the creature looked like before it changed form.
Right. Well, he did at one point. Now, and he's gonna like swirl his axe around the goop. Not so much.
And then Max is like, basically upon that confirmation, he's gonna like yell after Echo, who's I guess walking back. He's like, "You there? Do you happen to know anything of this?" And then he's holding up the thing.
She's gonna take it, and she's gonna look at Max, look you up and down, and then continue talking to Titus. Like, fully talking past you.
Oh yeah, because you're racist. I forgot.
Yeah. Or, well, less racist and more prejudiced.
More prejudice.
Why are all of your characters racist?
What?
Do you have something you need to
Their
tell us?
No,
characters-
hey, in all fairness, everyone in D&D is racist, okay? The gnomes like the
I'm totally
gnomes, the
just giving her.
dwarves
I'm
hate
just
the
giving her shit.
elves. I'm like, in all
I'm just
fairness,
giving her shit.
I run an old school D&D world where everyone is is racist.
I was gonna say Faye hasn't been racist.
Everyone's racist, so nobody's racist. I don't think that works, but sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say Faye hasn't been racist. Mary has, but specifically against goblins and giants because gnomes are notoriously racist against goblins and drones.
Because
For their-
everybody's racist in D&D.
I still want to know why
Yeah,
they're
well,
racist against giants, but
Do you know
never.
why that makes sense? Do you know why it makes sense that everybody's racist in D&D?
It's because they're all
What?
tribal xenophobes living in a primitive medieval world where magic and dragons exist.
No, because the game was created in the 70s.
Ow! Ow! That hurts my soul a little bit, Jeremy. The part of me that's literally halfway through Gary Gygax's biography is kind of offended, but you know, when you're right, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not entirely wrong with the tribal xenophobes and magic and dragons and shit, but also the game was written in the 70s.
Yeah,
I hear ya.
it's the thing of like when you criticize a work, there's an in-world reason for it, but then there's the outside world reason for it.
Yeah.
I was about to
Yeah.
say, in Valmina, that reason is D&D tradition and, you know, xenophobes, medieval worlds, magic, and dragons. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, funny. Too funny. Too funny.
Yeah, okay, but Echo is gonna kind of like
I guess
look
I'd also like walk up as well.
look at Max, and I'm gonna say this: at a distance, you can't see like the eyes in the holes of the mask, but like as you've gotten closer, you can see there are eyes. And you can physically see the look of up and down, and she kind of looks at Titus, and it's just like, "What do you want?" In Orcish specifically.
I guess I'll reply in Orcish. Well, it seems repayment is necessary.
And
No.
Titus, I will note that this creature's Orcish is flawless, as if a native speaker.
I don't know if Titus would be able to discern
Totally fine. I
like
just want you
a
to
native
know.
speaker.
Yeah.
Huh?
That's totally fine if Titus doesn't have that background. I just want you to know that it's
Yeah.
good Orcish. And if he doesn't pick it up on it, he doesn't pick up on it. But
Well, no, and so I don't think Titus would be able to discern a native speaker versus someone who learned it but is fluent. Like he'd probably be able to notice if somebody had broken Orcish.
right.
But
Somebody bad at it,
I
sure.
don't think that Orcish is Titus's native tongue either, so he definitely wouldn't pick up on it. He's just like, oh, I guess I'll just talk in this other thing that I know.
Yeah, all right.
And she's gonna look at Titus and repayment for what?
Saving your life, of course.
Meanwhile, Max is hearing "Shva, shva, miga, shva, shva, shva."
I want to run this by you, and it's like Max doesn't. He literally only knows common, but I feel like he would know in many other languages the word for like money, for like payment.
It's like just learning profanity. Like he just learned the word for money or payment in all languages. Tell you what,
Yeah.
I will give you 5 words that you can know. And if you want money or payment to be one of them, then you can select the first of those 5 words now.
Yep. How about he rolls a d6 and that's how many how many
I
words he
love
knows?
it.
I
Roll a
think it's a bit
d6.
better.
I love it. I love it. Roll a
The more
d6.
dice rolling, the better. Let's see, where is that? Which one's a dice? Okay, there we go. It's
This
it's
is the cube.
The classic dice. Oh, we rolled
Is
a
it
1.
2?
It's a 1.
It's a 1.
So he knows the word for money in a bunch of different languages.
I mean, we're not fluent in Orcish, so we could also just sort of presume that money and payment and like words like that are
Yeah,
relatively
Yeah,
similar.
it's like when you're it's like when you're listening to the automated stuff at the amusement parks, and they're foreign language, foreign language, foreign language, Disneyland, foreign language, like you always know the word for money. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
I like the idea of him just knowing like payment or money. So he hears that, and he hears Echo and he hears Titus both saying that, and he's like, he thinks that's what they're talking about, and he's like, a standard charitable donation for work of this kind is 2 gold, as he holds out his hand.
Echo's gonna look at it and smack your hand away from her, and it's like just staring you down, and just like looks at you for a minute and goes back to Titus. And what was it that Titus had ended off with? Like, you had saved her life, so like give us money.
I mean, yeah, like I think payment is deserved. You said why, and I said for saving your life, of course.
She's just gonna say, a true member of the clan does not fear death.
Quizzically, what clan?
I love it. Oh my god, this dynamic is ridiculous.
I don't think we have an official clan, because like that was Dave's stuff, or like
No,
I didn't.
You wouldn't have gotten raised under a clan name for sure. You might
Yeah,
have heard
I guess.
stories about clans, but you know that you don't have one necessarily.
Well, she would have been raised under the order of whatever her father was originally from. So I guess she would be considering that clan, even if it's dead.
Yeah. So I mean,
Can we just say blah 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 for the time being?
I about to say
Blah blah blah.
just my if I had to improv something off the top of my head, it'd probably be like Redfoot or Blackfoot or something like that.
Blackfoot?
Not black. Not
clan.
Blackfoot.
Redfoot, Greenfoot. I like Orcs
I'm
are
looking up-
green. Greenfoot clan maybe. But anyway, that's my knee jerk. But
Okay, I was gonna say Black Rock.
Black Rock. That's
Black
fine.
Rock. I'm just looking up literal ones.
Are you a Thrycreen?
We'll call it blah blah for now. If you want to look into the name of your own.
Yeah,
clan.
I'll go.
It's your clan, so you can have it be whatever you want.
Okay, we'll go with blah blah for now, but blah blah would be the response.
I'm unfamiliar with this blah blah.
Echo's just gonna stare at you, and it's like, I'm not gonna pay you. What do you want?
I mean, I don't know what else to say. We deserve payment. I mean, if you're not going to pay us, but I want payment. We seem to be at. I feel like Titus wouldn't know the word impasse. We're at a roadblock.
Can we just say you say a really strange term for it, if you were instead of impasse, it's just the very simplified words for it.
I mean, that's why I said roadblock, because I feel like that's the closest to impasse
okay.
he would know.
The boulder in road, the tree across road. We reached a tree
Yeah.
across road.
Yeah. Yeah, you seem to have brought us to the boulder in the road.
There you
And
go.
then
There you go.
he elbows Max that was pretty smart, wasn't it?
Assuming you're speaking common again, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit, that's right. And then I'll speak again to Echo. In Orcish, do you know common?
She's gonna stare at him. And once again in Orcish, why?
Because my companion here would like to understand, and I am not. I don't have the patience to translate. It would just be easier.
So Max sees Titus gesture towards him and go, and then gesture towards himself. Mahainama, and then like put one arm across the way, Mahura, and then gesture back towards you, Max. Maha.
Well, and Titus's shoulders slump in the area where he's like, and I don't feel like translating, and he like puts his head to the sky in exasperation.
I think at this point, Max, he's putting away his crossbow, and he's like, holding his hands in front of us, like, look, we've gotten off on the wrong foot. If you don't want to pay for it, it's fine. It's my job to do charitable works, and that's what we'll consider this. But do you know anything about this? Only trying to help.
Why?
And then in Orcish, do you understand him?
She's gonna look at Max and just gonna in comment ask, like, why do you want to help that person?
She does know comment, or it does know comment.
Well, it's my job, truth be told. I'm here. I'm trying to make a name for myself, and I'm trying to hold the creed of my god. And that includes helping those in need.
Like, sit there.
There's the sound of a bird crying out, like a half mile away.
And she's gonna turn around and like blow a whistle. To out come Pepper.
Titus is gonna ready his great axe to attack.
Also,
Max?
I can't move Pepper.
Pepper might be locked. So let me unlock Pepper.
Pepper's definitely locked. Oh, there we go. I can move her. Pepper.
Pepper. Oh wait, can you turn her?
Yeah.
Max puts his basically the thing whenever a dude's gonna pull out a handgun from behind his back, the back of his pant, but like not actually do it. Max is doing that with this crossbow. He hasn't quite pulled it out yet, but he's getting ready to, just in case this thing goes.
And this thing comes, you guys ready your weapons, and the strange creature comes to an abrupt halt immediately behind the masked stranger, and begins
In Orcish, behind you.
Echo is gonna like turn behind her, and you know the way like you caress like a dog's face.
Yeah.
She's gonna just soothe Pepper since y'all basically just pulled up on her.
A
And the
subtle
antennas
shudder.
start to twitch slightly, and the head turns and begins rubbing against Echo's hand in an
One of its
obviously,
forelegs
playful
starts to
motion.
And Echo's gonna look at Max. That's my father.
So you do know something about this. Well, I guess solves a bit of a thing. Solves the search on our part. How can you help?
Did you say? I couldn't hear you.
It's that takes care of the search on our part. Can we help?
How can we help?
Oh, okay. I was hearing how, and then it's cutting out. Can you not read?
Better than he can, and then he's
Nice.
Damn.
Nice. Throwing shade.
But he's like, we're
If
at
you-
a
Better than I, then the instructions are on the thing, on the note. I desire help to find him, then find him.
and then see. Well, it's not as simple as that, of course. You know where his last was. You know his mannerisms. I think it'd only do justice if you were to come along with us to aid in the search. Provided my compatriot here, and then he, does the hand on his shoulder thing to Titus is in agreement.
I definitely shrug your hand off my shoulder.
Shoulder drops, hand falls off.
Yeah, exactly.
Looking at Titus.
And this is a friendly reminder from your DM that you guys will eventually have to become a cohesive adventuring party. Please continue.
Yeah, I understand.
No, I think we're not exactly on like terms of animosity. We've been introduced to each other and are quizzical.
Yeah.
We're wary of each other.
Yeah.
Echo
Wary of
waiting
each
for
other. That's a good
his response.
What's up?
Echo's waiting for Titus's response to the, if my traveling companion's okay with it.
Whoops, sorry, I didn't realize she addressed Titus regarding your bug.
No, Max had addressed Titus being like, if my traveling companion's okay with it, and put his hand on his shoulder, which he then knocked
Oh yeah, no, I shrugged it off, but also confirmed that we are indeed traveling companions, and then with a caveat, at least for the time being.
No, but the answering the question of if you're okay with Echo coming along.
Oh yeah, no, sure. As
Yeah.
long as you're useful, for sure.
She landed some solid, shots and blows and things, and plus she's
Yeah.
got this weird, crazy pet. So yeah.
Yeah, provided you're useful and like a pause, that thing doesn't hurt us, you're fine.
With the questioning of usefulness specifically, Echo's gonna switch back to Orcish and ask which clan you're from.
Oh fuck, dude.
Well, are you from a traditional clan, or do you have another kind
Yeah.
of outbreak?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not. So I'm going to ignore the Orcish, and in common, I'm going to. Oh god, I forget what the phrasing is, but I'm going to answer the question with the question and say, I am not a part of a clan. I am actually just an independent mercenary that has no ties to other clans. That way, Max has the full context of my answer as well as the question.
I hear you, and I just want to take a moment as the DM to appreciate the fun and drama of the moment of the non-orc who places values in orcish ways meets an orc and is asking about those orcish ways, and this orc doesn't know anything about orcish ways.
Like, dog, that's just like what I am. That's not what I was brought up in. I don't know about any of that shit.
Well,
Sorry.
I love the mismatched expectations due to backstories.
Yeah.
The reason Echo asked about it is because you specifically brought up usefulness, which is a very strong part of Orcish culture and status within. So she's like, okay, so this he probably is from a tribe or something that values that as well, and it's like okay, which one are you from?
Yeah, and I'm just gonna give you a blank look in return. I'm gonna think about it for a second, and she's like, oh, my own, I guess.
Love it.
And she's gonna look at you and
But I will remind you, Echo, that the answer that you just got from Titus is very similar to the way that you would answer this question if you were asked it.
True. And she's just gonna say, I don't know how to specifically word it, but it's the whole thing of, did you have a clan?
Oh god, no. I don't think that Titus was brought up within Orcish culture. I think that I genuinely I haven't thought about the origins of Titus. I've mainly just thought about the recent backstory. But I imagine he was sort of like an Aladdin type, sort of street rat, and then rose to prominence by being a mercenary because he's an orc and was able to use his stature to his advantage and have some sort of success in that regard.
So kind of like a prom night dumpster baby half-orc origin?
Not quite that bad, but yeah.
Okay.
Like a 3 on that scale. If that's a 10, Titus is a 3.
Like the whole
Ish.
thing of like, you know
3 or
how
4 for sure.
like half-orcs are generally made in either occasionally we get a happy story of a nice orc meets a nice person, but sometimes it's not that, and Titus ain't got parents. So, and
Yeah,
so I'm
Titus
guessing
definitely doesn't have a lot of happy Christmas stories or
yeah.
Father Solstice stories. Like that's not a part of
Dog.
Titus's upbringing.
When Titus isn't sleeping, he's working. Like
Uh-huh.
I would be surprised if he knows what holidays are. Like I think you also forget intelligence is his dump stat. He's at a 7 on that bad boy.
Nice. Nice.
But with that kind of response to that question, Echo's just gonna like state the word just clanless, and just look back
I'm sorry,
over
in what language?
in Orcish, and then look back over Max.
I feel like clanless and orcish is probably a pretty common like disparagement.
Echo's saying it. She's saying it in a sad way.
No. I'm not saying that you're like calling me something.
Oh.
I'm thinking that Titus probably recognizes that one, and like he recognizes the impact that it might have on others who are bred within orcish culture, but
Okay.
it doesn't necessarily affect him that much. Like, yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, no, but when Echo says it, there is a notable shift in not like disgust or anything, but just like her tone sounds like saddened at the thought of like saying that. And then she switches back over to Max, and it's just like, what do you need?
In common?
Yeah.
Info mainly. I guess we got to start somewhere. We were heading up to Runeswick, and if you were willing to accompany us, we could touch base along the way, figure out where to plan from there.
Into town.
I guess Titus will probably interject. Why were you in the woods with this guy? Like, just watching this guy?
Heard my father screaming. I came to see, and that wasn't him.
That was your father? I don't remember if we like role played that we actually knew that
No,
was.
I think that's a reveal. I think that's a reveal.
No,
Yeah, okay.
she mentioned it in the drawing when Max held it up and said, like, do you know who this is? And she went, that's my father.
Well, Titus caught it on the second time around then. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Okay.
So.
The
He's
mirror
not the sharpest light bulb in the drawer. Fucking give me a break.
But on the second time of asking, he does, register like, wait, father?
He's definitely more focused on the loot and the reward.
Yeah. With, like, Titus's thing of, like, oh, father, like, confused. It's just, he is a shaman in these woods.
Wait a minute. People give a shit about those? Since when?
But I think Echo did actually tell you something about him. What did you say, Echo?
He's a shaman of these woods.
Gesturing behind her at the trees.
So then Max still has the wanted poster, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so Titus is going to look at the poster and look back at Echo and be like, oh, so if we can find him in these woods, then we can get the money for him. Yes?
And find him, yes. I don't think he's in these woods.
Where do you think he is?
I don't know.
Hmm.
We do an Orcish or common.
Assuming common.
Okay.
Unless specified.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify there so that I don't
No,
interject.
at this point, I'm going to try to speak exclusively in common so as not to exclude Max. I want to try to force Echo to let Max in on the information.
Yeah, well, she's letting in on it at this point because it's like necessary.
No, I know, but I know that your character is like sort of wary of humans and shit. So I just want to clarify that for Titus's sake, he's trying to make sure that Max is as privy as he can be to the information that's being passed along.
He just doesn't want to remember and repeat. It's too much for him.
I mean, that too. He doesn't want it like 3 hours later, like, all right, so remember when you said this? So yeah, this was responded to, and then this and that and the other thing. Like, no, thank you.
He called her a bitch, and then she went,
No, he called her an orcish bitch, and he called her...
and then he called him a poopy head.
An orcish poopy head.
Yeah. This is like
It's much worse. It's much worse than orcish.
This is when Bella and someone has to translate all the juicy goss.
Oh, funny. But Max, did you have something?
Yeah. Well, if you don't know that he's in, these woods, I figure these woods are a good enough place to start. If that's the last. Why am I doing Irish?
You're good.
That's
it's whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
I know, but like British is so different from Irish. You do not just do that on accident.
It's incredibly different. Just let it happen. Don't worry about it.
The Irish makes sense because gold and leprechauns.
It's a fantasy world.
Yeah.
I know. But
It comes naturally. But no, I think the last thing we left off on with Max was you mentioning going into town, and Echo specifically asked you when going to Runeswick as in going into town.
yeah, and he's gonna say like, "Is there a problem with that?" Can't imagine they're too scary. They're just a bunch of unwashed villagers and maybe a town's guard or two.
I'm sorry. Was that a few unwashed villagers?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's great. I love that.
But that's what he tells Go.
Echo's going, I can't.
What's wrong? You saw that you took down. Three of us here took down a mimic and a couple of doppelgangers. I can't imagine
The
two.
three of us. I don't
Three of
remember you hitting that fucking.
And I want to reiterate:
thing?
one of them is a formless doppelganger. The other one is a human-looking humanoid.
Oh, but anyway, you weren't there when it happened. But Max blasted the goat with the power of the sun.
He went full Jesus.
I did hear that as I was stepping outside.
He went Jesus.
But I'm mainly talking about the cart that was biting me. Because I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that did damage to that thing.
Yeah.
That thing, yeah, I think that was all you.
Yeah. Echo tried, but we missed.
It's like and Max is just like, listen, Titus, you managed to chop up a stationary wagon, you know.
Yeah, well, next time a wagon bites you, I'll let you deal with it then.
Was going for it, but I had a ram to take care of. But off the topic, of course. How can you deal with that? And you can't handle some villagers. I can't imagine they'll go up in arms. They're not that crazy.
He says to Echo.
Yeah.
And Echo's going to respond with father said to never go into town.
He's missing. I can't. Like, are you scared of him doing something? Because you're gonna have to if you want to look for him.
If you're looking for him, clearly you don't need to listen to him.
With the comment of Max being like, "Are you scared of him doing something to you?" She's going to say, "No, I'm scared of your kind doing something."
Pish posh. We're more scared of you than you are of us.
Fear makes people do things unexpectedly.
And then I think he's gonna be like, you're not
Titus will
human.
definitely interject with that, with the most benign of like, yeah, she's kind of right though.
Which was the comment that was a response to?
Okay.
Or no. Wait, what was the response to what was that responding to? Just
what is Titus referring to?
Yeah.
No, it's a question. What is Titus making that comment in response to?
Oh, the fear one.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Then Max?
if you two are so scared of going to town, I'm willing to put up a face if you two want to just hang back. And then he pats his not pats but like dusts off his clothes, is like, I don't imagine they're gonna want to mess with someone this well kept and fashionable, if I might say.
Echoes look back at Titus and not even in Orcish, in English. Is he okay to wander off by himself?
And I'm not 100% certain that Echo even knows the word fashionable. Like, I'm not sure she knows that word.
I think she would know that he's like talking about the clothes if he's like pointing at it.
Yeah.
But he
she definitely had to use context clues for that last sentence, though.
But yeah, no, even just straight up in common, just looking at Titus, like, is he okay to be alone by himself?
And Titus will respond with initially will respond with a quizzical look, and it's like, yeah, he seems fine. Yeah, I mean, he made it this far by himself. I only met him last week.
And
but he comes highly regarded.
Ooh, appreciate that. You're gonna get a pat on the back from Max there, and then he's gonna say, like, now, if we're looking for your father, things need to be done, and it's not just battling creatures out in the wild, but that includes you going into uncomfortable situations like going into town. I promise you, there's nothing to worry about. I imagine the worst that they have there are some pitchforks, and you look like you can plenty handle those. But if you want extra safeguard, I'll promise not to let them mess with you. That would make things difficult for the rest of us.
At you.
What's up?
Once again, looking you up and down after the whole, like, you pointed specifically at your clothing. She's like looking at the clothing. She's checking you out at this point to see what.
Can I notice Echo looking him over? Well, like, essentially checking him out?
Echo ain't hiding it.
Cool. In Orcish, just to, like, try to avoid Max from being, like, minorly embarrassed and be like, yo, do you have a thing for humans or what?
And Echo's gonna look at him and just, like, blatantly, I would never breed with a human, let alone consider it.
What language, please?
Orcish.
In Orcish.
Great. I know Titus asked in Orcish. I just want to make sure Echo is also responding in Orcish.
No. I definitely.
Actually, can I make that change? Can I say that in common?
So,
Jesus Christ.
Max hears Echo say, I would never breed with a human in common, in response to whatever Titus said. So from Max's perspective, Echo looks him up and down. Titus goes, Mahashaba! And Echo turns to Titus and says, I would never breed with a human. How is Max responding to this?
I have the exact thing. Let's do it. Let's do a roll. Maybe like a what is it? a morale thing.
Are you gonna
Charisma?
try to convince her to fuck you?
No, it's a morale thing of how much does the comment affect him.
Oh,
Well, that's up to you to set that DC. Then I feel like you know how
you're rolling like a wisdom
resilient
save or
Max
something.
is.
Okay, so
Would
let's
she
see.
be hurt
Keep,
that this
keep in
chick-
mind,
Constitution
10 is
save?
easy, 15 is medium, 20 is difficult, 30 is nearly impossible. What DC are you
Fortitude
setting?
save.
Max?
about a chick being like, I don't think you're fuckable. I wouldn't even let you touch me.
That's probably pretty
There.
easy for an adventurer.
So that's a mean comment. So let's see, 15 DC 15 Fortitude save.
Medium.
I'd say a Constitution plus your Wisdom.
No, he wants to go
just because
fortitude. I think that's a fair stat to use for that. Is
Okay.
fortitude.
It's a +8, so he's probably heard of this before. Ooh, 18.
18. Okay,
Nice.
he beats his DC then. Not by a ton, but he's
Brushes that
gonna make
shit
it through
right
this
off.
interaction at least.
There's a bit of wincing on his part, and I think he's just gonna make the comments of like, "No worries, that was not something that was on the table. Not something I've even considered."
But it's in the way that like you can tell that somebody's hurt. Like his language is not hidden.
Yeah,
It's like no,
he's not saying
no,
it wasn't
it's-
considered because you're
it's
ugly.
okay.
He's like, oh,
It
okay.
wasn't on the table anyway. I wouldn't either with you either. Like it's very like reactionary in that space, you know.
Yeah. For sure.
He turns around, there's one single teardrop.
That's up to Max.
Single
That's up to
man
Max. That's
tear,
Max.
a single man tear.
Yeah, but she's gonna like kind of look back at Max, and it's just the awkward stare down of the sentry.
But I don't think she
You go
ever did.
first.
What's up?
I said you go first.
I like to
No,
imagine.
it's like I don't think she responded to him asking about like or him saying about the going to town. I also know Dave was talking, so if he wants to go, he can go too.
Dave, if you want to go, what are you saying?
No, I just like to imagine whenever Echo is staring back at Max through these moments, she just does the dog thing where she just like slightly tilts her head, and this wordless like mask just kind of like tilts and like looks at Max, and it's just like staring
100%.
back at him.
There's like slight
Just
head
like
tilts
45
and stuff.
degrees, just like blink, but that's all. That's all I had to say.
No, but yeah, no, he I think he had said the whole thing of like going to town, got to do these kinds of things if you actually want to find your father, and that willing to keep people from messing with you if it means that keeps things running smoothly.
She's gonna look at Titus and an Orcus Ash if he's been had issues in town.
What about issues in town?
She's asking you an Orcish if you've had issues in town, like with people.
And before you respond, Titus, this is like the 4th or 5th time that the masked figure has switched back to Orcish after being in common. Max, do you have a response
Yeah.
to this?
I was actually just thinking about that. In Orcish, I'm going to initially respond just reflexively. Which town, and then I'm gonna sort of make some recognition and like shake myself off. Like, wait. In common, which town? Speak so that we can all be understood.
And before you respond, Jennifer, Max, do you have anything to add to this moment?
No, I think like obviously he's a bit douchey, but I think he recognizes that he's asking a stranger for stuff, so take it on their terms, kind of situation.
Well, and I'm also trying to help as best I can.
I appreciate it.
I'm trying to slice these moments into thinner and thinner slices so everybody has a chance to respond. Echo.
Yeah. And she's gonna in Orcish say Runeswick.
Which is
I don't think
the
you can
same
say that in Orcish.
in most language. I would argue that you understand that she said Runeswick despite the language.
Yeah, I feel like you just say it would just be Runeswick.
Just say Runeswick in a
It's got
weird
an
accent.
accent. It's Runeswick, but it's still definitely Runeswick, just in Orcish.
Okay. Shit. I I already forgot why I asked that initial question.
She was asking you if you've had troubles, like, socially speaking.
In town, that's right.
In town, in Runeswick.
And in specifically in common, I'll respond. It's been a while since I've been to Runeswick.
Over a week.
Over a week?
She's gonna say when did you have issues when you were there?
In common, not with this one, gesturing to Max. But otherwise, not much.
Like, and then Max would respond like, are you referring to my predecessor there?
And I don't know if Titus knows that, so Titus might recoil like, wait, what?
Weird looking dude, weird mustache, no eyebrows, goggles. Considered himself
You have a trainer in Runeswick?
No, the one who Tim.
Which is a name that Titus knows.
You said Tim, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was my old professor.
I didn't realize that Tim was from Runeswick.
He's not.
But Max is just referencing, because Max got a download of information, and from Tim, who was like, while we were in Runeswick, all this crazy shit happened. So he hears the word Runeswick in Orcish and is like, you must be talking about my predecessor, Tim.
Okay.
The description.
No. Tim was quite the unremarkable warrior, if I must say so.
Yeah, that sounds about him, all right.
With the description, though, of Tim, when you're describing him, Echo is specifically going to say,
I mean, he never described him. He would have just said Tim,
no,
and I would have caught up.
Oh, you describe him?
He did.
Okay.
Yeah, he was saying like, no eyebrows,
Oh, yeah,
considered
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
She's going to say, the helper of necromancers.
In Orcish or common?
No, in common.
I think Titus will probably recoil a little bit and get Max, be like, he was a necromancer?
No, he was an alchemist and a poor one at that. But from what I want to rag on Tim a little bit because he did have his flaws.
No, it's perfect. I love it. It's great. It's your character. You can rag on him all you want.
Yeah, seriously, do whatever the fuck you want to do against your own character.
Yeah, but he's that. It's like a poor one at that. But from one thing he did tell me was that the situation was a bit more complicated than that. It seemed to be a thing of him helping that necromancer against his will. Help him or punishment of death kind of situation. I can only pity the fool.
Do you have a feather earring?
To pity the fool who tries to step to Club Elaine. They call me Big
don't get the reference.
Because I crush your whole gang. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't get the reference.
With that, where it's like the whole thing of like, it was under fear of death. Echo is just gonna make the comment of like, he had his choice. Between, killing yourself or doing that, but...
No, it's because they're both... But, like, that's literally what Jakar said as well.
That's who what said?
Jakar?
I thought you said chicken. I was like, the chicken said, huh?
Nah.
Chicken said, call!
But, Echo's just gonna kind of look at Max but he trained you.
I guess you could say that. He also told me a little bit about what's going down here, and regarding he's told me a little bit about the town. Just there's some problem establishments, but past that, I don't think there's any issues here.
Do you know the Woodsman's Guild? Is what Echo's going to ask.
Vaguely, I think Tim might have done some work for them, but he didn't mention much more about them.
My father knew them. We will talk to them, but I will talk to no one else.
And he kind of claps his hands together and rubs them. He's like, "Good, we have a start."
And your DM is going to step in and say that we'll start the next session with you guys heading together to at least the outskirts of Ruinswick, where then Echo can decide what choice ultimately she wants to make. But you guys will be looking to engage with the Woodsman's Guild at Ruinswick. Before we wrap up this session, I know that Titus looked at the wagon. Do you guys want to search either of the other two individuals here?
Echo will make a search on Fake Daddy.
Charisma or survival check, please.
Survival.
Max will do
Charisma
humanoid.
or survival check, please.
That's slightly better.
What's 13 plus 16?
It's quite a bit. But ultimately
29.
for you, what that will mean is that on his body you find 12 gold pieces.
Cool.
Shit.
Yeah.
It was balling.
Ballin'.
The total or just for Echo?
That was what Echo found on the doppelganger, on the used to be her dad.
Yeah, Echo's definitely not sharing.
Yeah, no, she don't know you guys. And the first thing you asked her for was money.
Now she can pay the charitable fee for.
Now she can pay the
Exactly.
charitable fee. What'd you roll, Max?
16.
16. You find
Bum-ba-da-bum.
a folded piece of parchment, which is obviously a crudely drawn map to an area behind Ruinswick, out on the peninsula. There are no markings, nothing is tagged, you don't know what this is a map to, but it's distinctly a map leading to some kind of location northeast of Ruinswick, near the coast. You also find a large feather with the quill end dipped and coated in dried red blood, and 8 gold pieces.
Ooh, hell yeah.
So please note all that in your stuff. You guys will start the next session on the road together, how long you travel together, whether or not Echo goes into town. All of that stuff will be yours to decide. You can pick right back up with the role play next week when we continue playing. And now you guys will start as a maybe not cohesive yet, but at least a united party of 3 who are all physically in the same location and have the ability to speak to each other and start the planning and bonding process.
Progress.
Yeah. And you guys defeated the I don't even know what to call this encounter. The nothing is as it seems encounter. And
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty good.
Question mark the Spider-Man
A
meme
Waverly Place
encounter.
theme song.
But you guys all did a great job. I'm gonna go end stream and I'll be right back. But thank you guys for playing, and I will catch you guys next week.
Deserve.
Cool.
Yeah.
Later. All right, guys, let's figure this out. What are we at? What's viewer count at? Do I even have enough people for a raid? I don't know. I haven't been monitoring stuff super closely this time around. looks like it is me, myself, and I keep myself company, but I'm going to go ahead and wait another 5 seconds here. 4, 3, 2, 1, so I can have a 3-hour stream session on the nose. Thank you guys for joining us. This has been D&D with your friendly DM, OG Merpe, and we'll catch you on Wednesday for our next game and Friday for our next version of this game. We'll see you guys next time.